of you watching us for the first time, I want to yeah. Hello everyone. You're welcome to our live broadcast today. This is Family Aspects. For those of you watching us for the first time, I want to encourage you to stay to the end of this broadcast and also to subscribe, subscribe, like it, like the video and subscribe. Hit that thumb up video. Come on, let's do this. Let's go there. All right, so we are live right now, and what we are doing or learning about today is something very remarkable. Now, if you can hear me, I want you to hit the like button. I need to know that you can hear me. So I want you to hit the like button. Good. All right. Now, today, as you can see on the topic, we want to be talking about something very important. What's ruined your marriage? Now, I have received series of letters, but I'm going to be reading these letters in different episodes. Okay? I have a letter that I'm going to read in a few minutes. On this letter is a kind of an experience that somebody had, and then he's telling his stories, what led to the end of his marriage. And there's so much we can learn from these stories of these people. And that's why I come up with this episode, this series of episodes that we're going to be talking about on Family Aspect channel. Now, before you get to receive all of this information that we have to share with you, I want you to hit the like button. I want you to subscribe if you haven't subscribed. I want you to move to the next level with me, because we are about to learn something that can preserve our relationship and marriage for the rest of our life. And that is what we're here for. That is what we're all about. Good morning, Francis. You're welcome. I'm glad to see you joining us, Francis. Okay, now here is the firstly, let me give you like a little teaser. Okay, what you should be expecting in each episode of this series. Okay, first we're talking about, or we are going to be discussing on issues that led to the end of certain people's marriage, certain family, and the marriage ended. So remember this family aspect. So we have to go through every aspect of family that we can find. But first, we want to look at things that makes family end. Why do we have disoriented families? Why do we have disconnected families? Why do we have, I talked about previously on my video about absent father. Why do we have absent fathers? Why do we have absent mothers? Okay, all of this is what we're going to be talking about today. Now, before I go into all of that in detail, there is a letter I will have to read. Now, here's what to expect. You are going to expect to see what different challenges that people face in their marriage, which they could not handle, which was beyond their capacity or beyond their ability at that time to deal with. And then they took decision to end the marriage. Now, that is not a good thing. Of course, we know nobody wants to have a broken home, okay? That's why we're here. We don't want to have a broken home. We have a lot to share to avoid that. But in reality, we still have people going through that today, all around the world. So what are we talking about? Well, a lot of things we're going to be looking at. What led to this marriage? We're going to be looking at their stories, what they did, how far they went, what lengths they were able to get to, what advice they got, what step they took until they couldn't take any further step. And then the relationship ended. So we want to look at those things in these letters. And then we will talk about it. Maybe one or two of you may have suggestions or opinion or what you think may have been done, or what you think can be avoided in such situations, because these things are happening as we speak. And we want to use our channel as an opportunity to help reduce this chaos in families and homes. Now, without further ado, if you haven't subscribed, hey, come on, subscribe to this channel. If you haven't liked the video, I encourage you to like the video right now and share and share and share. Let's get more people onto it. This is a live stream. This is a live stream. Here's the letter here. I actually got the letter. I printed it out from my email. Now, if you are there watching this video and is as though we're talking to you, or probably this video is directly talking to you, don't be how would I put it? Don't take it to heart. It's not that we are trying to come to your privacy and try to make you feel uncomfortable. No, we want to help people. We want to be able to help people to understand that whatever they are going through, there are a lot of people out there that are also going through them. And if they won, you can win. All right. First of all, we are looking at why people end their relationship. Why do they end their marriage? What is their reason? So I got some letters, and I'm still receiving some letters coming in from our Facebook and all of that. So we are getting people coming in and telling us what they felt and how, writing to us. Okay. If you have your own story and you want to write to us, come on, don't hesitate to write to us. All right. Contact us directly, and then I'll put a link of my email address that you can reach me on, or you can reach me directly on YouTube. Just write directly to me. I'll get it. Okay. Whichever way you want to contact me, just let me know. And then we'll get your letter. We'll talk about it, but we will put you anonymous. Okay. Your name will not be mentioned. I've always tell my anyone that write to me, I keep your name and your personal detail confidential. So your name will not be mentioned. Your family name will not be mentioned, but we'll talk about the story. All right. And then we'll see how we can analyze the story and correct some things, and also learn from what you have done or what actions you took. So that's what we're here for. Now, without further ado, let's go to this letter and read what we've got here. Okay. All right. Now, like I said, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't subscribed, because there's more. This is just the beginning of the episode. There's more to come. All right. So I want you to know there's more to come. So you have to get yourself ready for more to come. All right, let's go. Now, this is a letter from a man. I received this letter from a man, and I'm not biased because I'm a man. No, it's not about being a man. It's the story that matters. Okay. But this happened. This was the experience of this man. Okay. And I want to read. That means he's a husband, or he was a husband. Okay. Now I read. It says, for me, what ruined my marriage was a combination of two things: constant verbal and emotional abuse directed at me from my wife. I want you to mark that. I'm going to read the whole letter first, and then we'll analyze things. Number two, my own lack of realization that abuse was happening. I blame myself for all of my wife's outbursts and silent treatment that could last for weeks while I was tutoring myself, wondering. I mean, say he was torturing himself, actually, because the spelling there. He say he was torturing himself, wondering what I had done wrong this time. And my weakness is not confronting my wife. I was afraid of getting angry at her, and I'm still terrified of her. Wow. But there was one day when suddenly everything clicked into place. I realized I was afraid to come home after work. Oh my God. Did you hear that? And why I had felt so powerless and meaningless. It is the day she started using I want you to see. I want you to see what he said here. He said, but there was one day when suddenly everything clicked into place. I realized that day he's talking about. He said, I realized I was afraid to come home after work and why I had felt so powerless and meaningless. Now, he's talking about that day now. It is the day she started using our 3-year-old son against me. Oh dear. Teaching him to say, Papa is a mean bastard. Wow. Inexplicably accusing me of having an affair at the dinner table. That's what it means. At a dinner table. It says, then explaining to our son that Papa was living with his girlfriend and will never come back. Can you imagine that? Wow, that's terrible. If that happens, sorry, man. If that happens, that's really terrible. I mean, that's terrible. Which, of course, made him burst into tears. Now, the young boy, 3-year-old, started crying and stealing his toys. Look at that. And she is stealing his toys at bath time to make him cry. Then looking at me victoriously saying, ha ha. What? The feeling of powerlessness and incredulity is indescribable. But thanks to that, I finally saw through everything. I started keeping notes of all the abuse lobbed at me. Filling 6 pages in a couple of days. Can you imagine? I saw a therapist. I want you to see. He went to see a therapist. Where's my pen? He went to see a therapist. He said, I went to see a therapist. Who confirmed the abuse. I explained to her I wanted to get some time away from work. From her. She then threatened to commit. Now, he told the wife that he's going to get a time off. He's going to get a time off from her. And she started threatening him to commit suicide 3 times in the following conversation. So she threatened to commit suicide 3 times. When the husband said, I'm leaving you. I'm tired of this abuse. I'm tired of these things you're doing. And she threatened to take her life, to commit suicide 3 times. Then he said, she threatened to commit suicide 3 times in the following conversation. I convinced her to go and see my therapist. In exchange, I went to see her fortune teller. Okay, look at this. The wife was visiting fortune teller. Rather, the man was visiting a therapist. Now, you can see where the trouble is coming from. She was connected to a fortune teller, a spiritualist, or what do you call it? A spiritist. All these spiritists, all these people that talk about destiny and future of people. They are not real. I'm not being biased. I think those people are not real. I feel they are not real because I know they are not real. Look at this. I went to see her fortune teller, which is, of course, weird. Yes, it's weird. It's terrible. Although that fortune teller, in the end, also recommended I divorce her. I managed to make her go to a couple of counseling sessions. Oh, this man did some work. Well done. Well done. He says, I managed to make her go for a couple of counseling sections. But she will not participate once there. She will not participate. Now, this is a story that happens to a certain marriage, a certain couple. And this story, what I'm reading now, led to the end of their marriage. That's what we're talking about now. What ruined your marriage? What ruined it? And this man is telling us what ruined his marriage. I continue reading. And then I just initiated the divorce. So he said he initiated the divorce. That means he had to consult his lawyer and then initiated the divorce. I didn't think I had done all I could to save the marriage, but I was at the end of my rope. Emotionally, I just couldn't take it anymore. I just had to leave. I feel guilty about this, but a great many other things, including not noticing the abuse sooner and being so incredibly weak. Oh dear. I wonder what you mean when you say you are incredibly you were incredibly weak. Weak about what? Anyway, let's look at this. Now, that is the letter I just read to you concerning a certain family who ended their marriage with 3-year-old child. So, in other words, their marriage lasted for approximately 3 years. Okay? But within that 3 years, he had constant verbal and emotional abuse from the wife, which obviously he says he didn't notice that these things were happening, and it tends to happen more, that she was really into it. Now look at it. It says, my lack of realization that the abuse was happening. So he didn't realize that the abuse was happening. He said he blamed himself for not noticing. So the woman was outburst and silent treatment. So what does that mean? So there will be a day, several days, a week as a husband and wife, they will not talk to each other. Malice, silent treatment, no conversation, no communication. How could a husband and wife be together without talking? Of course, there's already an issue here. The woman, according to this story, the woman was verbal and emotionally abusive. So emotionally abusive, I will connect that to silent treatment. In other words, the woman can just stay without talking to the husband for a long time, without even communicating or having anything to do with him for a long time. And the man is worried what's going on. And they are living in the same house. They have a 3-year-old. And then he said he was weak to respond. He was weak to react. He was weak to confront her. Now, here's my point. First, no marriage should accommodate any form of abuse, whether the abuse is coming from the man or the abuse is coming from the woman. As soon as you notice, now, first of all, you need to understand all types of different abuses. You need to understand different forms of abuses. Because there are abuses that will come from men that you may never thought they are abuses. And there are abuses that will come from a woman that you may never thought that is abuses. But no form of any abuse should be tolerated, accepted, or considered. Allowed to linger for a long time like this one did. Why are there abuses in marriage? Of course, there are a lot of abuses. It's basically my opinion about that is this. Abuse happens when the purpose of a thing is not known. When a husband does not understand the purpose of the wife, what will happen is that the man, the husband, will abuse the wife. Abuse is defined as the abnormal use of a thing. The abnormal use of a thing. So when you abuse your wife or you abuse your husband, it's because you don't know the actual use, the purpose of your husband. You don't know the purpose of your wife. The same applies to children. When children are being abused, it's obvious that the parents don't understand the purpose of children. So here is exactly where this couple got it wrong. They didn't understand the purpose, or the wife didn't understand the purpose of having a husband. Now you say, is that necessary? Well, everything exists for a reason. That's why it's necessary. Our life starts with purpose and ends with purpose. Every relationship has a purpose. To have children, you have to have a purpose. Now, here is it. The abuse, the emotional abuse, the verbal abuse was all cursed by lack of understanding of who they are dealing with, or they do not have a comprehensive purpose of their husband or wife. So, according to this letter, I would directly say to this man that, you know what? Your wife did not have an understanding, didn't have an understanding of who you really are as a husband. You see, sometimes when they don't, we have the responsibility as men to explain to them who our responsibility, if we know, because most men may not know their purpose as a husband. And that's another thing. Okay, now look at that. Silent treatment, malice. It should never be considered in marriage. It breaks marriage. It destroys. Lack of communication there is. That's the way to put it. And we have been we on this channel, we talk about effective communication and how important it is to have communication. Sometimes I'm calling my wife and she's not picking the call. I'm concerned. I want her to pick because I don't know what's going on. In most cases, I'm like, where is she? Because I want to talk to her, whether she's at work, whether she's at home. I want to talk to her at will. So if I can't get through, I send a message. If I can't send a message, I want her to pick right now. Communication. What about when she's at home? We talk all the time, all through. We have something to share. There must be something to talk about. But not to have that in a marriage will destroy it quickly. You see now? So if you are going through your relationship right now and you have not worked on the side of communication and effective communication in your marriage, please do. Start working on your communication. Increase. Have something to talk about. Don't allow any silence in your marriage, because you can see that silent treatment just led this marriage to a church or got flushed to the toilet. It's a pity. I know it hurts, but this is not supposed to be, because you can see that the guy tried to make things right. He went to counseling. Another thing here that got my attention is, why would this woman begin to instigate the little boy against the man? Why? Why would the woman do such a thing? An innocent 3-year-old. And then he started instigating the 3-year-old against the man, against his own father. I know there are many women that does that, but not all. Very few women that are free from this, especially when there are already confusion, disagreement within the husband and wife. They start turning their children against the man. And it's wrong. Now, he noticed this. It is when he noticed it that he realized these things have really gone that bad. But this has been going on without him knowing. Then by the time he realized, look at that, she was teaching the child to say, he was telling the child, Papa is a mean bastard. Can you imagine? 3-year-old, you are already telling the child to learn to say bastard. A 3-year-old? Why would a woman, a mother, think of instigating her own child against their own biological father or mother, or whatever the situation may be? And to be sowing seed of evil, bad words, negative thinking in a child that is just 3 years old is mean. I don't think that's normal. Obviously, you can see they have lack of spiritual guidance. Again, this is another problem. Lack of spiritual guidance, because one of them went to fortune teller, the other one went to what do you call it, a therapist, and both come to a conclusion. You know what? You both of you should leave each other. You are not meant to be. And obviously, that's exactly what the aim of the destroyer in a family wants to get. You see, that's just like the devil in a family. He wants to end the whole thing and make everyone miserable. But you don't want to allow that, because you see, these guys lack spiritual guidance. They were not having spiritual guidance. And because they lack spiritual guidance or the right principle to follow, they messed up with it. They couldn't further. Look at it. The guy said, I couldn't just take it any longer. I couldn't just take it any longer. He said something here very remarkable. He said, I don't think I have done all I could to save the marriage. You see, that's right. That's right. But he said, I was at the end of my rope. That means he couldn't take it. He tried. Yeah, I know you did. And there are many families like that today who will say, I tried my best, but I just couldn't take it any longer. But I believe with this man's story, there's so much to learn. The first is, don't allow any form of abuse. If you notice you are dating a man, before you even get married to a man or woman, you should be able to sense that this man or woman would be abusive one way or the other. Either verbally, they may not hit you on the go while you are dating, but check their words. Check their words. See how they respond. You see how they talk. Well, I think we've come to the end of this episode. And now, if you have any question, any suggestions on this, don't hesitate to leave it on the comment section. And I want you to go over to this video again and learn. And if you have any question, please ask. If you want to you want to be on our next episode, you want to be our guest, don't hesitate to contact us. I would like to show you as our guest on our next episode, because we are going to be coming up with another letter, and then we will analyze that letter and see what went wrong. Why did the marriage crash? And we can learn. We can learn. So thank you so much, guys, for watching. And those of you that will still watch this video after the live stream, I will leave it on our channel. You'll be able to watch it after the live stream. And I want you to expect the next episode tomorrow. We're going to be coming in for the next episode. So follow this series. It's going to be a long one, I know, but we have several letters. So it's good for us to be informed about what makes people. Sometimes we just assume that it is the same problem that makes people end their marriage. No, there are different kinds of issues that people are going through. And we want to look at those issues and then be able to protect ourselves against them. You see, we don't want to be ignorant of these things. We want to be sure that these things are existing. And then when they try to come to us or happen in our family, we put a stop to it, because we know it happened and it led to the end of a marriage. So we don't want that to happen to us. So we'll put a stop to it. That's why we're doing these episodes, this series of what's ruined your marriage. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. And also, Francis, thank you for being part of our live stream. I appreciate every one of you. And if you haven't shared this video, I will encourage you to share, and also like it. And we will see you in our next episode. Watch out for episode 2. Until then, stay blessed in your marriage. Bye for now. Hello, you're welcome to our channel once again. This is Family Aspect and I'm your host, Charles. Now, in this channel, we provide you information, tips, ideas that will help you develop, build your relationship with your partner and children. Now, you can miss out on this channel irrespective of challenges that you're facing in your marriage, in your relationship with your children, or just dating. and you find challenges in anywhere, we provide you all of the tips and navigating ideas that you can implement to get successful with your relationship. You don't want to miss out on this. So I encourage you to join us and subscribe to our channel, and so that you can get access to our videos, valuable content that you would love to watch again and again. So what? Join us today and follow us on YouTube, and I'll see you in the back office. Thank you. Peace. Hello, viewers, and welcome to our channel, Family Aspect. Today, I want to be sharing a very big secret with you that will help you improve your family life. One of the secrets I found a few years ago that actually has been helping me to put my family together and make them feel loved and appreciated. Um, if I tell you what it is, you'll be amazed. You'll be amazed. What? That as simple as that? Actually, the title of this video is one simple thing you can do for your spouse and children to make them feel loved. What is that thing that you want to do every day? You want to ensure you do it at least to one of them every day. Every day. What is that simple thing you can do that will make them feel loved? Now, if I tell you what it is, you'll be amazed as well, like I said. But I did a little bit of research concerning the power of this thing, this one thing that you do that will make your husband feel loved, that will make your wife feel loved, that will make your children feel loved by you. What is this one thing you can start doing today? It's simple. It's very simple. Give them a huge, long hug. Yes, hug them. Give them a long hug, a warm hug every day. If you try this, you'll be amazed what you begin to see happen to you in your relationship, in your marriage, and to your children, and how they will begin to respond to you. Firstly, there is a solid research backing up this technique. Okay, there's a huge research on it. I've done a lot of research regarding this. So the, the first thing I found that the benefits of hugs. When you hug somebody, what is the benefit? What is the unique benefit? What will it add to that person that you hug? And what will it add to you? What are you gaining from hugging someone? Hugging, giving your spouse a huge hug. What will it do? What support will that bring? What help? Well, hugs help your couple or your spouse. It helps you connect with your spouse. That's what I'm trying to say. It helps the connect. So powerful. It helps the connect. That's number one. So you can easily be connected to your spouse. You can easily be connected to your children on a daily basis. Emotionally, you can be connected. That's number one benefit. And how huge that is. Think about it. What role would that play in your marriage, in your relationship with your children? Think about it. Then it influences mood. It influences the mood of your wife, the mood of your children, the mood that you're in. It can switch bad moods to become nice, gentle mood. You can switch moods. If your wife or your husband is feeling very moody, just hug them. Give them a long, warm hug, and you find what will happen. Or probably they are just angry or trying to express themselves and they are feeling upset. Just give them a huge hug. a long one, and see what happens. This trick is powerful. It's powerful. Even I'm just thinking about what I've done with it, how it has influenced my own relationship. Is amazing. It's amazing. And also, I discovered that it lower blood pressure. It lower blood pressure. So if you have a spouse that's always having this blood pressure rising, this is a gift to give to them. It's a gift to give to them on a daily basis. It lower blood pressure. Do your research, you see. And also, it improves the ability to tolerate pain. When you hug constantly, it it increases the tolerance of pain. It increases the ability for your body, your system, your emotion, your immune system, everything to combat pain. That's powerful. I never thought this there's such a thing as this that exists. Okay, I was amazed when I discovered these things. And also, it even helped to protect against illnesses, sickness, disease. Hugging, protect. Can you imagine hugging someone, your spouse, with it? I mean, giving them affection, that kind of long hug. You give them that hug, it will it will cause your immune system to fight against illnesses. It improves the immune system to fight against germs and illnesses. Think about it. What gift to give to your children? What gift to give to your children? Yes. So it is, you see, life is busy. We know as families, life is busy. There's so much we are caught up with, the daily greeds. Life is busy. Kids work, you know, household stuff. So much of time. Um, uh, so much of our time is spent on autopilot. You know what I mean? So imagine getting through all the myriad of tasks, the huge mountains of tasks that must be done every day. Every day. Think about it. It's huge. It's huge. It's huge. So what do you do? Taking a short hug break every day in your life will help, especially when things are so crazy. Things are going gaga, that you feel that you can't breathe. I mean, you can't breathe. You can't breathe properly, and it makes it when you offer that hug to somebody, it will make a huge difference. Listen, the hug will make a huge difference. If you try this, just as I'm telling you this now, after watching this video, try it. You'll be amazed. You'll be amazed what you see. I once read in a book. I remember it's a long time I read this in the book that hugging your spouse, all right, um, like 10 times a day can dramatically improve your marriage. But I haven't been able to do up to 10 times a day, okay? But I read it. I have not been able to do up to 10 times a day. I must be honest with you. Maximum I could get to maybe two or three a day, or maybe one. But but even the little I've tried, it's working. Imagine if I consciously, intentionally begin to improve this. So think about 5 times, 3 times a day to hug your spouse and see how this will affect your marriage, improve your relationship with your family, especially with your children as well. Give them a hug. Um, I remember the first time my dad hugged me for a long time. Oh, that is another story, another video for another day. The power of a father hug. How powerful that is. It's good. If you're a father, you're a parent, and I encourage you to practice this towards your children. It will change their life. So I believe this key principle of improving your marriage, your relationship, will help you do so, practice it, implement it. Now, if you're watching this video and you liked it, I want you to hit the like button, hit the thumb up button, brother, sister, do it, and then share your comment. I will be glad to read your comment. And now, if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, come on, what are you waiting for? Do your brother a favor and subscribe so that you can receive more information from this channel. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll be coming your way again with another beautiful tip that will help you in family aspects. Bye for now. Hello, viewers. You're welcome to our channel today. This is Family Aspects, and I want to welcome everyone that has been following us on YouTube, especially for your first time. I want to thank you for joining us, and those of you following us on Instagram, I want to thank you for following us as well. You're welcome to this channel, and this is a new channel, is a young channel, but information that we share in this channel, they are very powerful. Um, as you can already go through all our videos, if you have, you will see that some of the things we talk about that has to do with family, they are very vital. These are valuable information. Okay, today I want to really address a very important subject that has to do with family, relationship, marriage. Okay, and firstly, um, it is easy to create a happy home. It is easy, yet it is also difficult. All right, if you don't know what to do, it is hard. You see, it appears difficult when you don't know what to do in your family. Um, to create happiness, to create lasting peace, joy in your home, there are a lot of things that you need to put in place. There are a lot of things that have to be considered, and those are the things that are very important. Principles. Now, not to know those things is to put yourself out there at risk in your relationship. You see, so. Um, Is it possible to have a lasting relationship? Is it possible to have a happy, healthy relationship? Is it possible? Emphatically, yes. It is possible to have a healthy relationship. Both parties have to be involved. This is not what one person does. It has nothing to do with just you doing it and the man or woman just stay back. No, everyone is on. Everyone is involved. Everyone's hands are on the plow. You see, you have to put your hand on the plow and make up your mind that it's gonna work. It's a decision you got to make. You have to make up your mind. Look, this thing is going to work. I'm not gonna allow it to slide. I'm not allowing it to fail. That's my decision. That's my commitment. That's my mentality. It's gonna work. I'm making it work. Are you gonna make yours work? You will say, well, you haven't seen how what life hasn't dealt with you. That's why you're still talking. If life deal with you, um, you will not be talking. Well, I don't want life to deal with me the way you're thinking. And that's why I'm learning all of these things. And I'm preparing myself to fight and win. Life is hard for everybody. I'll show you that in different levels. Life is hard. But if you want a lasting, successful relationship, if you want to keep your home, I think there are things you must do. There are things you must do. You got to take this thing seriously. Um, and one of the things I would like to share with you today is the ability to stay humble in your marriage. Both husbands and wives have to learn the power of humility in marriage, in relationship. Listen to this. No successful relationship without humility. No successful humility is what brings success into a relationship. Is what brings joy. Is one of the components, not just only humility. Humility is one of the major components that makes successful relationship. Without humility, no success. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard. The question is, what is humility? How do I apply it in my marriage? Humility is the ability to value other person more than yourself. It is the ability to sense the wisdom to recognize that your mate, your spouse, is highly valuable, is very important to you. And then their feelings are important to you. Their ways and their thoughts are important to you. Their opinions are important to you. This is so key in relationship. So you don't think that you're better than your husband. You don't think that you're better than your wife, irrespective of how educated you are, irrespective of how financially empowered you are, irrespective of how politically empowered you are, irrespective of how influential you are. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who. If you're married, you are one with your husband, you're one with your wife. Therefore, humility states that you have to more, value each other more than yourselves. So you value your husband. Your husband is important to you more than you. Your wife is important to you more than you. It all starts from there. Listen, this thing had to be practiced in our home. It's a consciousness. You got to be intentional in being humble. You have to be intentional in being humble. Many homes today are struggling as a result of this pride. I've heard a lot of women tell me that, all right, send me a message and say, hey, my husband is too proud. He wouldn't listen to such things. He's too proud. My wife is too proud. Because she started earning money, she disregard me. More money than me, she disregard me. All of sort of things. Well, the key thing is both of you should recognize that you are one. Listen, you are one. You are one. I don't know how to stress this enough. Whatever you do to hurt your partner, you're hurting yourself. Whatever you do to disregard your partner, you are actually doing it to yourself. You're disregarding yourself. You need to understand how powerful this thing is. So stay humble. Practice humility in your relationship. Practice it. It will help you. It will help your children understand what love really means. You see, you can't really operate in love in relationship, in your marriage, without humility. Humility is the key to walking in love. Humility. Listen, pride produces fall. Pride produces failures. Pride, pride produces uh, hardship. Lack of humility is what brings a lot of difficulties and hardship in relationships today. So stay humble. That's my advice for you. Learn it, practice it. Husbands, stay humble. Wives, stay humble. Value your partner more than yourself. Practice it, and you will begin to see how things begin to turn out successfully and joyfully at home. I thought this is so powerful for anybody to listen to. who wants to have a happy, healthy, and successful relationship. I think this is very key. So I encourage you and to do this. Practice it. All right, practice it. It will help you. It will help you great deal. Stay humble. Stay humble. Practice humility because humility will produce lasting peace, healthy relationship. Humility give birth to um, longevity. Longevity. Anything, anything that is done with humility lasts long. And I've learned that principle for a long time, and I'm practicing it even now. So I'm encouraging you to do. It's not easy. It's not something that is going to be very fluent when you start. But as you start, it's a matter of time. You begin to find that it's getting better and better, and you begin to align yourself uh, quickly, adjust quickly. So I encourage you to practice humility in your relationship. All right. So we're gonna take a break. Hopefully, I'm gonna come back with another uh, um, tip that can help you keep your relationship long, healthy, and blossom. Okay, it is. I'll share that with you soon. Until then, stay blessed. Share this video, like it, and share your comment. Whatever you have to share, share your comment on the comment section. Okay, and then I will be back with another tip that will help you. Until then. What do they mean? What are you talking about? What do you mean by irreconcilable differences? What are the things? Is it because there was infidelity? Was the man or woman was sexually unfaithful, or what is that? Is it was it that there is no out of commitment to the marriage, or probably there's something that happened that I mean that is beyond forgiveness. What is this? Is it because or maybe one or two of them is not one or two of them is not uh, faithful anymore or honest to each other? What could that have been? What is that thing that what is that thing that actually that is leading to this? You see, what is leading to this communication? Because as we know, everyone is saying irreconcilable differences, irreconcilable differences. And then we have other women and husbands are copying that ideology and trying to implement it in their own relationship to find an excuse to walk away. But first thing first, divorce is deadly. Divorce is worse than death because the stigma of separation, the stigma of divorce is better that someone just die and leave this earth than to have a stigma of divorce, especially when you have children. Is even worse. Is even worse. First of all, divorce is caused by division. It's caused by separation. It's caused by division, different opinions, different ideas. Okay. First, I'm not sure what their irreconcilable differences are. But here is my take on this. kind of relationship? What can one do to avoid this kind of broken homes, broken family, disoriented relationships? What can we do? What can we do? There's a lot to do. There's a lot to be aware of. There are a lot of information, there are a lot of principles that we can abide. We can use for our own benefits and keep our marriage strong. So that's what we're talking about today. And seriously, I am personally concerned about what my sister is going through, Stella Damascus. Yeah, I am, because this is some people say that, oh, probably marriage is not for her. Well, that, come on, guys. Listen, if I know there are some people who naturally doesn't require to get married. Naturally, marriage will not work for them because of the way they position themselves, or probably the way they think, or probably the way they see life to be. I understand that. No, obviously, nobody is forced to marry. Nobody should be forced to, even though there are a lot of people who are being forced to marry. Nobody should be forced to marry anybody. Now, I don't think she's forcing herself to marry anybody. Neither do anyone force her to do these things. All right. Neither did any man force themselves into her to marry her in the first place. Okay. So I understand all of that. I'm concerned why we find now, even over here in Western world, it is rampant. Just a woman can wake up in the morning and say, I need a divorce. Why? Is it the husband is snoring all the time? A woman, there are several relationships that have been broken here, or a marriage that have gone through divorce just because a man snore, or a woman snore, or the man doesn't do this, or the woman does. Minor things that are easily forgiven, things that can be adjusted to, that you can walk over. My question is always, were you thinking that this person is going to be perfect? I know there's this idea that we get, oh, I'm looking for my perfect partner. I'm looking for my perfect dad. I'm looking for my perfect man. I'm looking for my perfect woman. There is nothing of such. Sadly, nothing of such. There is no perfect anything. No man is perfect. No woman is perfect. Now, all you ladies out there looking for, oh, I'm looking for my Mr. Right. I'm looking for my Mrs. Right. Oh, God. Sorry to say, there is nothing of such. It does not exist. And that is actually the problem of many young people getting married. They think the woman or the man that they just met has this whole thing fixed. His life is complete. Everything is they use the word, he's so packaged. Really? And by the time they get into the life of that man or woman, they begin to uncover things they never thought possible. They never imagined that these things will be there. And now they want out. You're joking. You're joking. Do you know the stigma that it will rub on you for the rest of your life? Do you know what it is? Do you know even the God said he hates divorce? If God hates divorce, what do you think somebody who hears that you are a divorcee, do you think they will reason with you in the right way? Now, here's my take on this. I probably believe that there are a lot of other people who watch this video and would like to say one or two things concerning this. Firstly, if you're watching here, like the video and share, because um, there's something you must understand, and that is the content that you're receiving now is so important to you. If you're married, if you're in a relationship, the content you are receiving now is so important. I'm serious. What I'm about to share with you is so important. You see, it's so important, and it will help you to have. Hello, Frida. You're welcome. How are you? Thank you for joining us today. Thank you. Now, there's something I want you to understand. There are things that must be done. There are things that must be done for a lasting and healthy relationship. There are things that must be done. It has to be intentional. You must be intentional about these things that I'm going to list, I'm going to mention in a few minutes. Now, I believe that what happens, this misfortune or discomfort that our sister Stella Damascus is going through in a marriage, it's not what everyone should have. It's not what everyone should wish for. It's not even something that I really actually want to talk about. But you see, because of other people, because of many families that are going through the same thing I mentioned before, I said the reason why the issue of Stella, it's not new. This issue that is happening with Stella Damascus, it's not new. The reason is it's like it's trending, it's like obvious everywhere. It's because she's a celebrity. That's the reason. Do you know how many people who are not celebs that are going through this today? Thousands upon thousands of homes. They target irreconcilable differences. Irreconcilable differences. I just told you how a couple just got divorced because the husband snore. Can you beat that? Because the man snore. Any other thing? No, I don't like it because it snores. I'm trying to stop it. He's not stopping. So if he's not stopping, I'm walking away. You're walking away. Another woman signed out from the marriage because the husband is not sexually committed. I mean, there are things, irrelevant things, things that can be annulled, things that can be worked on, things that can be resolved. But a lot of people are not willing to take it further, probably because the man or woman wouldn't want to talk about it or will not give room for a change. I'm not sure what that reason is. But you see, I want to share with you today. I want to share with you today 8 foundational key principles. 8 foundational key principles that you can implement. I have been implementing it and I'm still working them, and it's working for me. It's working for me. And these key principles is so needed for a happy, lasting, healthy relationship and marriage. Listen, to overlook this thing is dangerous. I told you, divorce is worse than death. Quote me. Actually, if you have heard of this late man, Mas Moron, he said it very strongly in one of his relationship books. He said divorce is worse than death. And in reality, I found that is true. I found that is true. Divorce is worse than death. Divorce is worse than death. Now, you may say, well, that's not true. Until you go through it, you understand. You don't want to learn from being experienced by it. You don't want to learn that. You better learn from those who have already experienced it so that you will not experience it. Yeah, people divorce, get the divorce I mean, they take divorce because, I mean, they just go through divorce because of irrelevant things. Irrelevant. And I'm disturbed about it. What kind of life is that? What do they think marriage was for? When you sign up to get into a relationship with somebody and begin to date that person and go out with that person and then decide to marry that person, what did you think you were signing for? A 3 years contract? A 2 years contract? What do you mean? What do you think you were signing for? This is life, man, life. We're talking about life commitment here. The only thing that will cut you off from that is death. Nothing. Nothing else. Even the Lord, Jesus said, the only thing that will make you give a divorce to your wife, he didn't say to your husband, he said to your wife. You see, if she is found unfaithful to you, that means sexually committed adultery, then it says you can do that. But apart from that, there is no other reason. But today we have people divorcing their wife or husband because she snore, because she's that she doesn't cook, or what, all these irrelevant things that people can actually, develop. They can be trained for. They can be taught. That's what relationships is all about: teaching one another, learning from one another, helping one another to grow. So if you're taught that you were marrying somebody who's already perfect, who is already complete, so you want the person to complete you, you were wrong. Or you are intending to get married to someone now because you think the person is so perfect, he is so complete, so this person will just be the right person for me. I mean, he's so my Mr. Right, he's so my Mrs. Right, my Mrs. Perfect. You're wrong. It does not exist from anywhere. And that's why we have this trauma, this huge. Have you checked the statistics recently on the decline of divorce? I mean the increase of divorce, not even decline, the increase of divorce rates. The rate of divorce right now in the whole globally, especially from the Western world, is huge. It's staggering. And marriage and children are suffering. They are being the victims of all of these things. Indecisive decisions that we're making, on irrelevant actions that we are taking. Children are suffering. Children are suffering these pains. And guess what? These men and women don't even care about the future of the children, how they feel. Yeah, Frida. Most people, you're saying most people get married without having proper counseling about marriage and discussing and agreeing about certain things. We do not just assume things, but talk about them. Yeah, that's the problem. Many people don't want to talk. Okay, how do people get married today? Just by feelings, by satisfaction of immediate gratification. Oh, the man has money. Oh, good. The woman has something. Oh, nice. Oh, the woman looks nice. She's figure 8. Oh, great. So she's wonderful. That means she can be my wife. I mean, just things that are not considerate to be the primary foundation for even thinking of getting married to somebody. And these things are happening over and over again in marriage. As we speak, many people are getting married just by outward appearance, by things they just think is nice. They sign up for life of commitment just by the temporary things that they see. And it's terrible. It's horrible. It's horrible. It's horrible. Yeah, it's horrible. So I want to share. If you're watching this video, please hit the like button and share it with your friends. Those of you who are watching, I want to thank you for watching. Share it with your contacts, share it with your WhatsApp friends, share it with everyone you can share it with, because I want this video to go viral. so that people will know what to do to avoid this kind of thing happening to them. Because it's not just the talk of the news. Okay, everyone is saying, oh, irreconcilable differences. What solution do they have to provide? No one is providing solution. Guess what? They are waiting for what next will happen to them so that they can start talking about it on the news. It makes no sense. Question is, how can we stop this now? How can you stop this from happening to you? If you're a husband, if you're a wife, how can you prevent this from happening? What are the things that are causing this? Now, they call it irreconcilable difference. Let me tell you what those things are. It may not be something they don't want to share it. Okay, we understand. We all go to school. We understand English. All right. But let me show you 8 foundational keys that are necessary for a lasting marriage, a lasting, successful, healthy marriage. Everyone wants to have a healthy home. That's what I have always desired to have. I've always desired, before I got married, I made up my mind that this was what I'm going to go for, a healthy marriage or not. And I started building myself, my mentality, my consciousness for it. And that's why I can boldly say that it works. This is my 8th year in marriage. All right. It's not a long time, but I understand 8 years is long for me. I'm grateful, but I'm still very much happy with the state that we are in my marriage. And with including what I'm learning and the things I'm learning, I'm sharing with you, I'm ready to take it to the next 8 and even more and more and more. It's a commitment. Okay, that takes me to the number 1 key principle. If you want to have a lasting relationship, if you don't want to end up like struggling, separation, struggling within the border of separation and divorce, the first thing you have to do is, first of all, know God for yourself. You know God. You see, you got to know God for yourself. Don't let anybody tell you about who what. No, know God for yourself. You got to have that in you first, that you need to know God for yourself. You need to know God for yourself. That's number 1. I'm not going to tell you about, I'm not saying become a religious person. No. I'm not saying become a religious person. I'm not saying, no. I'm not a religious person. I'm saying believe. I'm asking you to believe the Creator, the one who created you. Believe, know Him, have Him in your life. That's the first thing. It's a first foundational approach to any lasting, successful marriage. The fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. That's number 1. Then number 2, actually, I will put this as number 1B or number 1A. I just said number 1. So number 1B, love and commitment. You must understand what love really means. You have to. It's not the one that we feel as a result of infatuation. That's not love. Just because of what we see, that's not love. Love that is stirred up by what we see is not love. I'm talking about a love that is birthed unconditionally. A love that is birthed unconditionally. In fact, you will be feeling the heat when you are exercising that kind of love. You will feel it. If you don't feel the heat, it's not unconditional. It is not conditional. That's number 2. You have to have unconditional commitment or love. A lot of people get into marriage without thinking about the essence, the very essence of sustaining that relationship. And number 1 is commitment. You got to make up your mind that this thing is going to work, irrespective of what happened. You're standing on your ground that it will work. Nothing will change it. If you don't have that solid foundation, that commitment, that agreement that this thing will stand in test of time, irrespective of what happened, you're willing to go the extra mile to make it work, then I don't think you should be thinking about getting married. I don't think we should be. Now, these are called irreconcilable differences, in my own opinion. If you are not loving the person you want to marry or you get married to, or if you are not committed to that person, that can lead to divorce, that can lead to separation, that can lead to distinct differences, that can lead to division easily. Easily. If there is no sign of commitment from you, what will I be doing here? A lot of people can sense that from afar. Before they say I do to anybody, they can see that that person is committed or not. Is the man family oriented? Is the man family life driven? That's the key. Is the woman family oriented? Is she family life driven? Is she committed? Can you see those commitment oozing out of her and out of him from what they say, the things they do, the dreams they have? Is very important. That's number 2. Number 3, you must have, listen, these things I'm telling you, they are so, that's why I put it, I'm using the word, you must, is a criteria for lasting, healthy relationship. If you are sick in your body, you go to a doctor. They will give you prescription that will make you better as regard to what you're sick of. And if you do not follow that prescription, you remain sick. The same thing is this. In marriage, if you want to have a lasting, long-lasting, successful, healthy marriage life, then you have to consider these things. I've already mentioned it. Number 1, you need to be a person who recognize and acknowledge God in your life. You need that. The reverence for God that you have will bring more wisdom to your life. It will help you to sustain your marriage. Good. Number 2, you have to be committed. Love, not conditional, unconditional. That's number 2. Number 3, you have to be sexually faithful to your partner. Is a commitment you have to make if you want things to work. Now, by the time I'm done listing these things, I will give room for other people to talk about it, and you have your opinion, you can air your opinion. So there will be a section where we'll open up the line and people can come in and you can talk. You can, I want to hear what you have to say. I want to hear what you have to say, what you think about this list that is being given and what you have to say, because a lot of people are going to watch this video. I believe thousands of people are going to watch this video, and we want to provide solution values. Not just problem. We are not here to talk about the problem all day. We want to talk about problem. Yeah, we know the problem. Now, how can we solve it? How can we remedize it? How can we avoid these things from happening again to anybody or those who are going through it now? How can they restore themselves? How can they do it? What can they do to restore themselves so that they will not go through the marriage, divorce? They will not go through the separation. That's what this is all about. That's what this video is for. You see, and I mean it. I'm very serious with this because these things work. Okay. Number 3, I said you must be sexually faithful to your partner. And we all know 80% of divorce that is going on around the world today is as a result of unfaithfulness to partners. Unfaithfulness. Cheating wives, cheating husbands. I'm going to do a video on that soon. Why women cheat on their husbands and why men cheat on their wives. The reasons are there. And not to look at those things and take them into consideration is to err, is to prompt yourself to be a victim in the long run. So, sexual faithfulness is the key. You got to get that thing working in your marriage. I told you recently how a marriage ended because the woman complained that the man is not sexually active. That's just the reason. The marriage got ended just because the woman said the man is not sexually active. That was it. How important is this? It's so important. In fact, it's so important than anything else you could ever imagine. Activate your sexual life as a partner. Get it working and be faithful to each other. I understand that there are some men who complain that this man is, I'm tired of this man, and I'm tired of this woman, I'm tired of it's just this. I mean, I need something fresh. What do you mean you need something fresh? How could you be so come on? What kind of a thought is that? Why would you even allow such thoughts? Study about it, renew your sexual life with your partner, ensure it's the one that you stand. It's a commitment to it. Be faithful to your sexual partner. If you do this, what I'm saying now, these things I'm listing out, if you will be practicing them, write them down, practice them. Anyone that you're doing, continue doing it. Anyone that you see that you are absent, you are not doing any one of them, hey, start doing it now. Start it today. Otherwise, if you don't, you might be headed for a separation. You might be headed for a divorce. You might be headed for something. Now, number 4, humility. Many husbands and wives are not humble. You got to practice humility. Learn to be humble. There's so much pride in relationship, in marriages today. So much pride. The man has pride. The woman has pride. Somebody was asking me recently, I earn more money than my husband, and he's feeling uncomfortable. Should I leave the marriage? Can you imagine that? That is another day's discussion. We're going to talk about that. No, you imagine that. How do I answer that question? It's simply pride. It's simply pride. It's pride. No humility. No humility. So we got to get involved. Get involved with these principles. Practice humility. Learn to be humble. Learn to be humble. A husband must be humble. A wife must be humble. Be humble to each other. Is so key for a lasting and healthy relationship or marriage. Then number 5, you need forgiveness. There is a principle of forgiveness that needs to be practiced in marriage. There's a principle of patience and forgiveness that need to be practiced in marriage. If you are not practicing patience, if you are not practicing forgiveness, it's going to be very difficult to have a healthy relationship. I'm telling you the truth. You cannot sweep these principles under the carpet and assume that things will work. It's not possible. So you need patience and forgiveness. Practice patience and forgiveness in your marriage. That's so important. Learn to forgive. Study about forgiveness. Learn to forgive your partner is a key. So except you don't want to sustain your relationship or marriage, then you can just let things go. Then another key thing that you must put in is time. Time. You must put time in your marriage. Invest time. Invest time for each other. Invest time in the life of your husband and the things that your husband does. Invest time in the life of your wife and the things that your wife does. Invest time. Put in time and effort in what you guys are doing. Time that is invested, value added to your marriage. Add value to your marriage. Become value oriented. Tell yourself, we need to improve our marriage. We need to grow. People study a lot of things and become professional in it and become expert in it. But we have people today who doesn't study anything about their relationship. They don't study anything about how to improve their marriage. You got to learn that. You got to put that in. And that is key. Time invested. Then honesty and trust. Honesty and trust. You build that strong. You need that to be, see, you need to put in honesty. People are not honest in marriage. Husbands are not honest to their wives. Wives are not honest to their husbands. How do you expect that relationship to last? You tell me. How do you expect that relationship to last? There is no trust, no honesty. And we want to have a healthy relationship without honesty. We want to have a healthy relationship without trust. It's unheard of. It's unpracticable. It's unachievable. So we need to understand that these things are very key. Now, the other thing, the other key that you need to put into your marriage and practice is communication. Effective communication. No successful, healthy relationship without communication with each other. The spouses must learn to talk always, must learn to share ideas always, must be free, open to talk always, open communication. And it should be effective. Sharing and sharing and sharing. That's what makes relationship grow. That's what helps the relationship to be to sustain the challenges and survive the hardship that comes to it. Communication. How does a man or woman resolve their ineffective sexual life? It's through communication. If they don't talk about it, it will not work. How would they improve themselves in any challenges or problem that they face? It is through communication. If they don't talk, it will not work. So this is so key. And lastly on these keys that you must keep is selflessness, sacrifice. Sacrifice. We must be willing to give ourselves in, put ourselves in. The sacrifice that we put in our relationship. Sacrifice is key. Is key. Willing to go all the way for your husband, willing to go all the way for your wife, willing to go all the way for your children. Sacrifice. Selflessness. Selflessness. You want to have a sustainable, happy, healthy marriage life? This is the principles that you must keep your mind refreshed on every day. Every day. These are your checklists. These are your checklists. You need to have these as your checklist. Trust me, if you don't have these as your checklist, no. Now, what Stella Damascus and the husband called irreconcilable differences would have been traced to one of these. Something along this line has happened. Along this line, these principles have been broken. In their marriage, some of these principles have been rejected by them. Some of these principles have been denied. They refuse to practice some of these principles. These things I've just shared with you is what makes marriage work, is what makes successful, healthy marriage. Go and do your research. Even biblical speaking, these things are proven to make marriage work. They're principles for life. These are not man-made principles. These are God-oriented, originated principles. So if you put this thing to work, it will work. You just need to practice them. Just find out how to commit yourself to doing them. What is commitment? What is sexual faithfulness? What is humility? What is patience? What is forgiveness? How do I put them to work? Why can I invest time in my marriage? How do I do it? How do I express honesty? How do I live and walk in trust and honesty in my marriage? How do I do it? Practice those things. How do I learn to be communicating with my husband? I need to improve my communication. I need to improve our effective relationship. How do I do it in communication? How do I express my thoughts to my partner? How do I express my feelings to my partner? Communication. Sacrifice. sacrifice, selflessness. How far can I go in loving my husband? How far can I go in loving my wife? How far can I go in loving my children? How far can I go? Sacrifice. It's so important. This is family aspect. I don't know what you think. So if you have anything to say, please say it. And if you want to talk, put on the comment. I will invite you in to share your opinion about this briefly before we end the broadcast today. I believe this is very inspiring. I believe this will be a blessing to many people. So share it, and comment, and let's see what we have to do, to share with other people today. What do you have to say? What do you have to say to other people who is listening? And leave your comments at the comment section below, and like the video and share. What do you have to say? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? So leave your comment below, and also you can leave a message also, and we'll be able to get back to you on that. But if you want to have something to share, you want to share your thoughts about this, I'm glad to invite you over to share your thoughts. And quickly, we'll do. Awesome. Now, I want you to subscribe to the channel. If you're watching for the first time, I will plead with you to subscribe, because we have more information coming your way that you can benefit from all of this, what has to do with family aspect. And if you haven't watched our previous video where me and my wife talked about a certain question, and also we have another honorable brother that joined us, our guest, who was also speaking about the question that we had about a certain a woman who is going through a traumatic season because the husband refused to support her in the things that she requested, and the husband rather play games. He rather play games and then do what he has to do at his own pleasure. And the woman suffers raising 5 kids, and with all of the chores and domestic activities that she needed. I mean, it's horrible. And things that people go through in marriage is horrible. So thank you so much. If there are no one to actually request say something, thank you very much. I believe you have something to say. So if you want to say something, you can leave it on the comment section. But if you want to be part of this program and you want to say something about it, I will invite you in, and you will be on the video and you will say something, or you can call in. If you don't want to show your face, that would be nice. And then you just look at the things we talked about, and look at what Damascus is going through right now, and what do you think they mean by irreconcilable differences. And also, we've just talked about the things that we must do to keep our marriage strong and healthy. All right, the things that we must do to keep our marriage strong and healthy. I might be having this video again. I might be talking about the things that we must do to have our marriage and relationship strong and lasting in another video. But when it comes to situations like this, especially when things like this is trending like on the news, you just want to make a solution available quickly, so that people will not just only run away with the problem, rather they will have solutions. You see, they'll have solutions. And that's what this video is all about. So I want to thank every one of you for joining us, and for liking the video, and for sharing the video as well. I'm going to bring this video to an end today, and we are going to come back again to continue on the topic. I have a topic to share with you: why women cheat on their husbands. I want to share some top secret things that husbands need to know that may be leading to a woman, their wives, cheating on them. So we want to talk about those things. And also, we'll also talk about why husbands cheat on their wives. And women need to know these things so that they'll be able to protect their marriage and secure these things. It's so important that we know these things. So important. Thank you so much. I am your humble friend. And if you want to support our channel, I encourage you to do. The links are all there. You can support us on our channel. You can watch this video again. And I encourage you to do so as well. Thank you so much. Share the video, like it, subscribe, comment, and wait for more. Now, when you subscribe, just hit the bell notification so that you'll be able to receive an alert or notification whenever we're back online. So it's very important you hit the bell notification. Thank you so much, and I'm out, and I'll see you again in another video. Peace. Hello, everyone. You're welcome to our channel today. This is Family Aspects, and happy day. I believe you're having fun. You're having an amazing time there. This is my wife here, and we are here to discuss some important issue or a question that actually got us thinking. So we got a question from someone, and we wanted to address this question live online today. Let me see everyone that will be joining us today. I want to first of all thank everyone that is that subscribed to our channel these few days. I want to appreciate you for being part of our channel. You know, what do you have to say?
Hi everyone, and welcome to the family.
Yeah. So yeah, welcome to the family. A family that brings value. We're thinking about value. We're thinking about bringing information that are that can be used to solve issues that are relating to family. So it's very important that we pay uh, close attention to some of the things that we'll be sharing on this platform. And questions are allowed. You can ask any questions, and we'll be able to take it there and maybe answer the question and see what else we'll be able to do concerning the question. But there is one question here that I'm actually looking at, and I want to read the question. You can see it. Part of the question is on the screen, but I will just read the question to you. It says, my husband never assists me with cooking or cleaning. Instead, he is always playing video games. He told me not to complain about it. What can I do? Let me read the question again. He says, my husband never assists. It's not that he assists at all. He said he never assists me with cooking and cleaning. Now, she's specific on what the husband doesn't do. He said the husband doesn't assist her with cleaning and cooking. All right. So just a minute. So let me just read the question and then again so that you get it. I'll read the question again. It says, my husband never assists me with cooking and cleaning. Think about it. It says, my husband never assists me with cooking and cleaning. Instead, he is always playing video games. He is always playing video games. He told me not to complain about it. Can you imagine that? I'm not sure why this particular question or this particular challenge happens in many families, in many homes. I'm not sure why the husband will not assist in cooking and cleaning, but he said he's always playing video games. You know, how can a husband be playing video games and not assist in cooking and cleaning? He said now look at it again. He says he told me not to complain about it. That means the wife told the husband to please assist me in cooking. Can you assist me with cooking and cleaning, whichever way, with whatever situation it was? But the man said to her, the husband told her not to complain, never to tell him to do it or to complain about it. Now she's confused. She had this is a woman with 5 kids. I want you to. My wife is here. We want to talk about this because this is serious. This is a woman with 5 kids, and the husband will not assist in cooking. The husband will not assist in cleaning, and instead he just play games. He play video games all through whenever he's free. When he comes from work, he stays at home. The next thing he does is to turn on his PS4. That's funny, right? He turn on his PS4 and begin to play game. And he plays game until he's tired. By the time he's tired, he comes back and he wants to eat. And after eating, he wants the woman to do the regular duty of satisfying him with, you know what I mean now, with sex. And the woman is confused and she's drained. So I want my wife to really say something about this, because me, I'm boiling right now inside me to hear this happen to. I mean, I know there are a lot of women that are going through this right now as we speak. I can tell a lot of women are going through this. For this woman to speak out, it's obvious this is huge problem on her neck. She's going through a lot. And I want my wife to say something about what she thinks. The question is, my husband never assists me with cooking or cleaning. Instead, he is always playing game. Now, let's address the first one. He said, my husband never assists me with cooking and cleaning. What do you think about that?
Okay, so first, I would say the question is not complete yet.
Okay.
And the reason I said that is I'm a woman, so the woman shouldn't feel for a start that I'm not on her side, or we're just going to stand in the place of truth. So first, if the husband maybe the husband doesn't like cooking and cleaning, right? He might be doing other things. So is your husband doing other things in the house? Does he prefer to iron? Does he prefer to do vacuuming might still be part of the cleaning, but are there other things that he likes to do? So again, if they already have 5 children, so maybe they've had this conversation, before. Maybe they've talked about this before. So it's to find out the part of the things that he likes to do. If he doesn't really like to do any cleaning, he doesn't like to do any cooking, but he likes to eat, and he likes to have your attention every day after you have worked so hard, then he needs to, get, a house help. He needs to get someone and be paying the person to be doing it. Because, he can pay someone. If he's paying someone, maybe they have an au pair or they have a house help. So someone can actually be doing all this work, because it's impossible for a woman to do all this work morning till night and still be able to attend to you.
But that's why he's there, isn't it?
But if he doesn't like to do it, he can pay for the services. He can source it out. He can pay someone to be doing it. Not the wife. He should employ somebody to be doing it.
Okay. First of all, I know the angle you're coming from. Okay. But this guy, I the way I see the question coming from this family, I can tell that they are just an average people trying to survive.
Okay.
Okay. Now you can see the pressure is mounting up on the wife alone, and come on, a man who is serious, really, really serious in life, will not spend all his days playing games.
No, he's not spending all his days playing game, because the question says the man goes to work, so he comes back to relax. So when he comes back, he actually goes start playing video games. So, if it's an average family that the man knows he cannot
I can't believe you are siding.
Hold on, I'm not siding.
No,
I'm
wait,
not siding.
Wait, hold on. He said maybe you didn't understand the question.
I understood the question very well. I'm not siding the man. I'm saying that, okay, so it's not everything you would, even as a woman, it's not everything you might like to do. So the ones that you can't do, like the man, if he doesn't like to clean, that's okay. If he doesn't like to cook, that's okay. You can pay someone to do it. The only problem we will have is this. if he doesn't want to pay someone to do those services, he cannot pay someone to clean the house, he cannot pay someone to come and cook, and he actually wants the wife to do all this job. And I'm sorry, it's not gonna, the wife should be saying, when he's tapping the wife, like, I want the night food, the wife should be saying, I'm sorry, I've used all my energy, to do the cleaning.
Okay, because we're trying to. She's saying now. She's saying what should she do?
Yeah.
Now here's the point. Here's my concern. The man doesn't help in cooking and cleaning. He doesn't.
He doesn't.
Okay,
yes.
Fine. And whenever the woman complain about it and say, please, can you help me do this in the kitchen? Or can you even help me do some cleaning?
He says, don't
Or
complain.
what about the children's laundries? Can you help me do them? And he says, what's that? Are you not the wife? You should do it. And then he complains and says, please don't tell me that again.
Okay,
If
it's about that, yeah? Okay, some men believe that the wife is a slave. The wife is not a slave, right? A wife is a helpmate. A mini. If you're a man, you're cooking in the kitchen. I can come to say, oh babe, do you need help? I'm helping you. That's my duty in your life, to help you. It's not to be the doer. I'm not the doer. So it's okay because we multitask and we can do a lot of things, and we actually just take up the cooking because we see the man doing something else. We say, okay, let me do the cooking because he's doing something else. It doesn't mean on his day off that he can jump into the kitchen to cook. Because remember, women are helpmates, so we are helping. So as a woman, I know my place. So maybe the husband, even if they've got 5 children, they've been married for so many years, he might just need a bit of education in that part, to know the place of the woman.
Hold on. Who's educating who now?
Well, if the woman knows, he can educate the man, or even help him to get books that will help him read. Okay, he likes to play games. So you can buy video games.
Or cooking.
Yeah. You can buy video games. This is how he can learn, because he loves to play video games. So you can buy video games that talks about, there are games and games of this thing. So you have to speak to people in the language that they understand. So if the language that he understands is the game part.
I can't believe what I'm hearing from my wife. Listen, this is serious.
Have to speak to him in that language.
Hold on. Maybe you didn't get the question. But here's my take. The man never, not that.
Does he know how to do it? Does he need to be trained?
See, now you're getting to the point I'm trying to address. First, he never assists. And whenever the woman demands or asks or requests, whether politely or rudely, whichever method.
At a point you get upset.
Yes, good. Then the man says, why are you complaining? Why are you nagging? Stay away from it. I don't want to talk about it. And the woman is confused. Okay, first, let's look at it this way. Is it right for a man to do that? If any man does that?
Okay, it's wrong.
Okay.
First one is completely wrong.
Now you're talking.
It's completely wrong. But again, there's 2 sides of a coin. Yeah. So that's why I said the first part.
Wait. He said, my husband never.
Yeah, but why? Why? There's a reason the husband never. Because they've got 5 children, right? It started with 1, 2, 3 before it gets to the 5. Maybe they have 24. Whichever way, they've got a length of time they've been together. So there must be a reason behind it. So if from the beginning, there must be a reason behind it. But whichever reason, is it that he doesn't know how to do it? If he doesn't know how to do it, it can be trained, it can be taught, And if he's willing to learn, is it that it's something that he doesn't like to do? Yeah, if it's something that he doesn't like to do, it's okay. You can outsource it. If you don't want to do the job, you pay for someone to do it. If you say he doesn't have enough money to pay for someone to do it, then he needs to make himself available to do it. If he cannot make himself available to do it, I'm sorry, I love you, but the lady needs to start putting her feet down to say, you know what, politely, if you want me to cook all day and clean the house all day, because house chores is very, very demanding. It's very draining. So if you want me to do this all day, and at the end of it all, you still want me in bed, or you still want to have your way, I'm sorry, it's not going to happen. Yeah, I'm tired, I'm drained. I can't do it. So
I know. Thank you, Mr. Pareto Brand. I'm trying to pronounce that name. It says, "Does wife walk outside the house?"
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Of course.
Now, does the wife walk outside the house? Now, I'm thinking his question is,
yeah,
does
if the
the wife
do another job,
do other job?
Yeah.
Now, she does part-time job. She said she does part-time job because of the kids. She only spend about 3 to 4 hours a day to do part-time job. Now, when the husband comes back, remember, this is school hours. Children are back to school, especially in Europe. Now, she will do the children take the children to school. All right. Then the husband is already gone to work early in the morning. So she'll take the children to school and then come back and do the house call, get them ready, and then she will go to work. And within the time, that 3 hour space, she has to go and do about 2 to 3 hours job, and then go and pick the kids and come back home and continue the process. And then
break down.
Good. And then the man comes back from work. This is where the thing is hitting me up. The man comes back from work. Yes, he has been busy. Yes, he has been working. Yes, we have been doing things. Then he comes back and he just take his towel away after having a shower and then sit on the computer again. The woman is back to the kitchen, trying to make food for the dinner, the dinner for the children and for him to eat. And he sits right there with all the dishes in all the plates in the washer. They are all there. The dishes are there. The laundries are there. The house is immense, I think. And then the man comes home and sit down and expect the woman to continue. Yes, so brother, this is serious. That's why my body is aching. This is serious. And she's going through this pain. And the man will sit down and be playing video game. For me, I think that man needs to be whipped. That man needs serious koboko. Seriously. Because
I think before then, like I said, there's still more. That's why, we're basing our talk right now on this question. So is a thing that they can actually still sort out.
Now, I'm trying to get this along the way. Okay, I'm going to invite 1 or 2 people. Maybe if you have something to say, you can put it on the comments. I will send you an invite. You can join. And I wanted to say something. I mean, air your view, because for me, I'm thinking this guy is in a mess. This guy is messed up. I mean, this guy's messed up, and the woman is in danger of breaking down, or even. I mean, this is serious. So, I'm really concerned about how this woman turned out to be in the next couple of days, or weeks, or months.
You need someone to help.
Yeah, but if the man cannot afford, providing the maid,
then he will have to help. He will have to help.
Good, but he doesn't want to. He rather play games. This is my concern.
Then he needs to sell that video game to pay mate.
No, hold on. What should she do? It is not what he would do now. The man is not even in this formula, because according to this conversation, the woman is the one that needs to do something.
You know what? We've said it.
Okay.
What the woman needs to do first is to, I don't know the kind of conversation they've been having, but this is the time to take that serious conversation to the table. I need help. The lady should tell the man how she feels, because she's going to break down eventually. This is not an easy thing to go through, because you will be in pain. She will be doing those work. Emotionally, she's drained because she's pained. And because she's so pained emotionally, trust me, she's not, whatever she's doing, she's not paying, she's not paying that full attention because she's so pained. So she's even prone to accidents.
Okay.
She's even prone to a lot of things.
Let's do this way, okay? You and I here now, we'll be married for over 7 years. So, okay, let's come to the table.
Yes.
Let's use our life as an example, because me, I'm getting really, I'm boiled up.
Okay, that would be good. Yeah.
No, that would be good. Yeah. Okay. Let's get real.
Yeah.
We are real here.
Yeah.
So you tell me, in your experience, because this is a common thing.
This is a common thing
that happens.
So this happens to us as well, right? But not in this way. So remember when we got married, right? When we just got married. So in the early stage of our marriage. So you knew how to cook, you knew how to clean, but for you, it was not like the thing is a woman's stuff, to do. But what really helped us, a lot changed because you had a willing mind. You were willing, to make your marriage work. You were willing, to change things that you see that should be changed. You were willing to be taught. You were willing to learn. So, which is a big key. And because of that, you were able to, take these things into consideration, because I complained about it as well. Now, babe, I need your help.
I know you did.
Yeah. So I need your help. I need you to help me cook. I need you to join me in the kitchen. I need you to help me do the vacuum. I need you to help me. So with time, we got to know which one that you really not enjoy to do.
Those times you asked me to help you do this, help you do that, help you do that. Yeah. What was my response? How did I respond?
Well, so from the beginning, you didn't just respond positively.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Some of them you will say, "Oh yeah, I'll do it," and I'll come back, it's still there. Yeah. Okay. You haven't done it.
Okay.
So I'll be like, okay. Sometimes you see me squeeze my face, or I'm throwing things, I'm cooking, I'm putting the thing like that. Like, you can tell that I'm mad. Like, I'm not. It's beyond upset.
Okay.
Because this is beyond upset. Okay. Because you don't expect a woman to be able to do this thing. So there was a time I was telling you that, babe, I'm not your slave.
Yeah.
I'm your wife. I'm not your slave. If you need the housemaid, you go and get one. You pay the housemaid. So it's time to, we are not in that era. Even the way God uniquely created us, for oneness, for us to love each other, support each other, help each other. So if you're loving your wife as God said you should love her, and gave your life for her. That's what the scripture said. Maybe this man is not a Christian, but if you're really just loving your wife, you will not want any harm to even come to her. You will not even want her to break down. You carry her as a queen that she is, because the man is the king. He needs to remember that the woman is the queen.
Okay.
So as the queen of the house, everything needs to be there, But
and then she will just relax.
She'll just relax, but she will manage it all, because women are, they are good managers, so they can put things in order. So yeah.
I can see that it's working. It's working.
Okay.
Hold on. Okay, I'm trying to get the experience from her, because she's been there. All right. And I want to thank you, brother, for watching from China. I want to thank you for supporting this topic today, because out of your busy schedule, you came to share your experience. But in reality, what I know, you're giving solution now, how it all happens to us and how we came out of it. Okay, so I would like to invite, maybe while she's still coming up with other solutions to add up, I would like to invite anyone who wants to make one or two statements concerning this. So if you want to say something, I want you to just indicate on the chat box, and I will just send you a request quickly, and then we are ready to get you on, and then you say you're part of this story. Let me just put it on the chat box quickly. Be able to put the link there, so that everyone will be able to actually comment if you want to comment. So here's the link. I'm just trying to post the link. All right, I'm trying to post the link right there. So yeah, that's the link. So if you want to comment, please click on that link, and then I will be able to give you opportunity to say one or two things with this, because me, I'm fired up here. I'm really tense. I'm looking at, what is this? How can a husband never assist a wife? And you said it's your wife. You never assist in the kitchen work, in the cooking, in the cleaning. You might say, okay, I don't know how to cook. You might say, okay, I don't know how to I don't know how to do this. All those things are fine. So the question is, how is it with you? What do you think? Let me bring in my honorable brother here. I'll just add you in. I'm not sure. Okay, you're there already.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing great. You're welcome, sir. You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you for
It's good.
joining us
Salute to your wife
and
too.
also for subscribing to my channel. I mean, I saw you yesterday on my brother's
Yeah,
Franklin's
on
program.
Franklin's channel. Yeah, I saw you. So let me
Thank
go
you.
subscribe to them. I like to support people.
Yeah.
You know,
Thank you very much.
the
Yeah.
channel. You know, it was funny. I was kind of making some jokes in the chat. I was like, you need a sister wife, you know, or you
This
need a,
is serious.
you know. But truth be told, I think let me use me for an example.
Okay, good.
I
Good.
hate cleaning. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I hate cleaning, but I love to cook. So my compromise would be, okay, honey, I'll cook when I get home. And you
Yeah.
got to clean.
Yeah.
You got to clean.
Mm-hmm.
Or you know, you got to start from the beginning. You know, when you start having all these children, you got to say, okay, you know, if we're gonna have all these children, because what we're leaving out of the conversation is a successful man doesn't work 8 hours a day.
Mm-hmm.
He's working 10 to 12 hours a day. So it's unfair for his wife to work 3 hours a day and expect him to come home and do the housework. It's just, you know, hey, you know what? You got to do it, because if he's working 12, you got to put in at least 10. You
Yeah.
know, and the kids, it should have been thought out. Hey, am I going to be able to take care of 5 kids? You know, because
Ah.
because in I know in African culture they have 5, 7 kids and stuff, and that's great because Africa's growing.
Yeah.
But I couldn't have 5 kids. Now, in order to replace yourself, you need at least 3. You
At
know,
least.
you need at least 3 kids. So that's what you want, 3, and then that'll replace you and give you 1 more if they all live to you know, to adulthood.
Brother, even with 2 kids, I got 2 kids. My eldest son is 7. My youngest son is going to 5 soon. In the next month, he'll be 5 years old. I know the work it takes to even raise 2 kids.
Right.
I know how many times I have to change diapers. Even till now, I'm bathing them. I bathe them myself. I know the work involved. But when a man doesn't think he needs to get involved with such thing, I'm thinking, what do you think family is for?
Right. You need to, when you got children, you need to take care of your kids. I was a single father. I had my daughter when she was young, you know,
Yeah,
and I had to deal with it. I had help from women in my family at
yeah,
times, but we lived on our own. So most of the time it was me doing stuff. And that was difficult for me. It was a huge adjustment in my life. I was young, you know, I was 23, you
mm,
know. So, but if you're married, you just got to figure out which part of the housework you're good at.
yeah,
I'm just not good at
I mean,
cleaning.
not
To
to
be
do
honest with you,
nothing. Yeah,
yeah,
not to
I'm
do
just not
nothing
good
is
at.
wrong.
Yeah, I'm just not good at cleaning. So I'd be like, okay, honey, I'll cook. I love cooking. I used to live in Argentina. I learned how to do, they call it asado, but a
Yeah,
barbecue. So I'd set up the grill. We'd be having barbecue chicken, barbecue, everything, you know, that
yeah,
would just be my thing, you know. And men in Argentina, when it comes to barbecue, only the men do it. Women don't barbecue.
yeah,
Men
you're
do
right.
it. Now,
Yeah,
I don't subscribe to the thing that men should do this or women should do this, but you have to do what you're good at.
what you good
And
at?
I don't think that you're not good at changing diapers, but they're your kids and you got to get in there and you got to help with that. That's part.
You gotta
That's
help.
something you got to
Yeah,
hold your nose and dive in. You know. but when it comes to the cleaning, I'm not good at it, and I'll do it, but I know I won't be consistent.
yeah,
So I'll be like, honey, you got to clean. I will cook, and cooking can be a 2-hour job, so you're taking 2 hours off of her schedule with that,
yeah, yeah.
and so yeah, and so another thing is, yeah. So you think about how many children you want to have before you dive in with all of those children, especially her. Are you going to be able to handle the responsibility of all of those children? And if she's not, then, or another thing you can do is you can work more hours and pay for
a maid.
A maid, yeah. But then that comes with a price too, because I've heard a lot of women say, "You're never home. You don't do, but you don't get to have the life that you're being afforded, and then complain about me not being home."
Yeah,
because it takes, unless you're wealthy, it takes hours to make money.
It takes hours to make money.
Yeah. So
So
those are the
what would
things
you
that,
what would you say that she should do now? Because she need a solution. Because I'm trying to get her something to do. She needs to come out of this web, man. She need to be rescued. This lady, she's about to break down if she's not already.
Well, another thing she could do is, she's working outside the house. I would ask her, why are you working outside the house? If you're working outside the house to help him supplement for the household
Which is
thing,
obviously is because there's not much money coming in.
yeah, I would tell him, we got two choices. Either you work 4 extra hours a day and pay for a maid, or I will work full time and pay for a maid. You see, she's
Okay.
working anyway. I mean,
Okay.
if both people are kind of low income, then that's kind of what you sign up for, and
Yeah.
unfortunately, the women bear children, men don't,
Exactly.
So I would,
But men make the babies, is it?
yeah, yeah. But I would, if I was her, I would say, look, we have a choice. Either you work 4 more hours and pay for a maid, or I work 4 more hours and I pay for the maid. And then, that would solve the problem.
That will solve the problem halfway or completely.
Because maids don't cost as much. I don't know what kind of job she has. I mean, if she's out
Okay.
doing domestic work, then
Yeah,
no,
could be. Yeah.
she's just gonna be working for the maid. She might as well stay home full time.
So you suggest if she stay home full time, the husband should be fine playing games and never supporting. Is that what
Oh no! I forgot about that. That's ridiculous. Grown men need to stop with that. Grown men need to stop playing. Look, I used to work at a prison, and some of the guys would be like, "Oh, this new game, Battle for whatever the heck it
Yeah.
was, would come
Yeah.
and I would say, and they were young. They were like in their 30s. They weren't so young to be kids, but they were in their 30s.
Yeah.
And they say, no, that's for me. I was like, what? You playing? And even my daughter's, and I say ex-husband, that's all he did when he came home was go on, and you hear, in the room talking, because now you can play with people across the world, and he come home and play games, video games. This is what he did. And I'm like, I can understand if you're not crazy about cleaning or cooking or whatever. He didn't clean or cook, you know. Got to pick one of them, you know. And he just be up in there playing video games. And I don't get that, you know.
I don't get it either. I don't
I
get it
get it if
either.
you come home from work and you're exhausted. Now that's
Mm.
another thing. But if you come home and then you hop on and do another 4 or 5 hours of video games, I think it's crazy.
It's
You know,
crazy.
you can come home
It's
and cook,
madness.
change the kids' diapers, get them in order, bring some male discipline. Because one thing I figure out when I see women with kids, and this is not a dig at women, this is just the way I'm observation I noticed they are. They're saying, Johnny, don't do this. Johnny, stop running through the house. Johnny, you know, when I tell my kids, when I told they adults now, but you know, to sit down, it was an earthquake. It wasn't no 3 or 4 times repeating it. It was sit down.
Sit down.
And I didn't hear any running around and messing around anymore for a couple of hours. You know, because
it's mind blowing.
I don't think it's the cleaning, it's a break she needs from 5 kids. It's not the cleaning that's bothering her. She's manifesting this through the cleaning and the cooking. But the problem is 5 kids running through the house with nobody having discipline with them. Sit down and do your homework.
What does the kids even think to see their father, their daddy, sit in front of a big screen, and all day he's on a game.
And if they got a big screen, and videos, they got enough money to pay for a maid.
Can you imagine that? That's pleasure, you know, trying to feed the pleasure.
They've got enough money to pay for a maid if they got a big screen TV.
So I'm really concerned about the woman, all right, and that's my concern, because the man is messed up. I believe. Again, we're looking at the upbringing of this man. I'm looking at the upbringing. He probably have had a rough upbringing coming up, and then now he thinks probably he was raised in such a way that mommy always do everything, and until he left the house to become on his own, to go on his own. Now he's on his own. He thinks the wife is still the mommy that have to do everything. You see, I think he's messed up. So because for him to have pleasure, the time to spend on games, and does that every time, every day, and then never paying attention to what the needs of the wife is. I mean, the question is, does he think that marriage is just for one party, a woman to just sit down there and just do all the things, and then he would just go around and say, okay, take money, that's it. Then give me what I want in the night, and then if she doesn't give it to you, you think like okay, now that's why I'm having another girlfriend, because you refuse to answer me. So I mean, all of those nonsense are coming in, and because he feels he's the man of the house. So a lot of things is involved here that I'm really, really concerned about, that this guy is messed up, you know, and the woman is really.
Here's another thing.
Yeah.
A lot of times this happens in relationships. I don't see how this happens in African relationships. I don't get it, because all of the African people that I see here that are married, it doesn't seem like they got married for love. It seems like they were kind of arranged, or they were business type situations. Whereas in America, we tend to like go for the romantic comedy movies, and you meet the person, they fall in love. I mean, I think, and I can only speak for American people, because I'm moving to the Gambia, but I've never been to Africa, so I can't speak on that. I won't speak on something I don't know.
Okay.
But here, I think women need to choose better, you know, because at the end of the day, it's the woman's choice of who she's going to sleep with, who she's going to marry. All of that is her choice, and she needs to just pick better. I mean, you need to get to know the person's family. You got to take love out of it and put a little bit of.
In addition to what you're saying, do you know that this woman, her second thought is to leave the marriage right now?
Yeah, but with 5 children, I think that's just ridiculous. She's not the solution.
Yeah,
it's not the solution. And see, that's another problem here in the United States, is that we've made no-fault divorce legal. So now, you know, a woman can say, you know what, you snore, I'm leaving you. You know, you fart in the bed. I'm gone. You know, I'm taking half the shit. I'm taking half the
Good.
So you are not off the marriage on a lie.
So you are not in support of her leaving the marriage because of this.
Exactly.
Good.
I'm not a real religious person. I don't buy into Christianity anymore. I used to when I was younger. When people bring up, the Bible, everybody always twists the Bible for their convenience.
Yeah, but I think what you should do regarding to that, you can read it for yourself. That's fine.
Exactly. I'm not telling what you should think, but don't come to me with that, because I can read the Bible and quote you just the opposite. So you know what I mean? So let's just take that out of it. And
I really appreciate your contributions to the extent that this woman will be able to take something out of this, because it's a very tough moment that she's going through right now, and we really need to help her. And we are already giving, because we know this is just one of 1,000 women that are suffering like this right now as we speak. So we know there are many women like that who are going through this pain right now. And that's why we're making this video. And for those of you watching us, please, I encourage you to like this video. And if you want to make any comment, please let me know. The link is on the chat box, and I will invite you in, and you talk. You have your own say or opinion. The question is, my husband never assists me with cooking and cleaning. Instead, he's always playing video games. He told me not to complain. What should I do?
Here's another thing. If he's being immature, if he's being very immature, what you do is you stop cooking. I don't think the cleaning is going to make him move, because he's selfish in that way of playing those games. But the cooking will work. Stop cooking.
She should stop cooking.
Yeah.
And
but
then
let's have a conversation and see if that will have him cook. If he's not cooking, stop cooking.
Wow. And you know what that means. And what is the second thing that she should stop doing then?
I don't agree with this, because a lot of women do this, and I don't think you should, because I think this is the one thing that holds your marriage together. And just don't have sex at night. But here's the thing though. If you're not going to have sex, prepare. You might as well leave the marriage.
Well, that's the first thing they want to do, because
I think that should be the last thing, because I don't think you should stop having sex with your husband. I think you should, if he has come to the point where he's want to see you suffer that much, then I just think it's time to leave.
We'll look at that aspect of decision, because she's taking that decision. She's planning to take that decision, because in most cases, he comes, and then after playing the game, the woman is tired, exhausted, and try to catch up with to rest and sleep, and the man wants it. And now she said, I'm tired, I can't do this. And then it's like as though it's being an issue of rape. It's being forced. You know what I mean? So it's something really. Just thinking about this, it gives me a lot of concern. She's going through a lot.
Is his mother and father still alive?
That I didn't really ask about that.
What I would do is I would ask her about that, because she needs to go talk to his parents. Are they African?
This is one of some of the men that never listens. I think is you can see that I mean, someone who's consumed with video game, instead
See,
of
here's the
helping the wife.
problem. If she leaves, if she leaves her husband, he's gonna be free, and she's gonna be still with the problem. 5 children, you know, is a lot of kids, and there's not too many men that's gonna remarry her after she divorces a man and she's straddled with 5 children. So she's gonna have that problem until those children are grown if she leaves him. You see,
Wow,
this is the
wow.
problem because I mean, I don't know if I would marry someone with 5 children. I don't think I would do it because if I wanted to have children, that means I gotta have 6 to have one. You know, it's just not. It just. I don't think that's a deal for any man to take that on. So she really has to think about this because if she leaves him, she's still not going to have a participating partner. She's still going to have to take all. She's going to even have to take more of the responsibility, because now she's got to work full time and take care of our children.
It's really is a very difficult situation here.
And it comes down to, well, I don't want to clean because she can't look at the house filthy, because women are neater than men a lot of the time. So it's the problem is, well, the house is messed up. We'll leave it. Leave the house messed up. I mean, you got to make his life a little bit miserable so he can see.
Miserable to recognize, to
but you got
recognize
to
his
be willing to live
responsibility.
in that misery. Don't clean the house up.
It hurts because how can a man stand to see a woman, the woman he married, the one you called your wife, going through pain, and you're not moved, you're not disturbed? I mean, you just feel numb to it. How can it?
It's a mental health issue, I believe, because on both people's parts, because she should have figured this out after the first kid.
It's hard.
Say, wait a minute, he's not going to be the
hard. It's hard for you. Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's hard for a woman to just wake up and say, okay, sometimes women try to study. Oh, sorry about the noise. We have some workmen here. Women try to find out if the man would change over time. So they are patient in such a way to see that a man will improve. So they think, okay, fine. After second child, probably he will change. After third child, I mean, there's some women that think like that. After third child, probably he will change. After fourth child, he's going to get better. Now he knows that there's more work. He might change. And now they find out that there's a fifth child and nothing is changing. Now she is crying out for help. That's the situation.
I think this is not going to help her, but I'm sure there's other women listening. Stop trying to change men. Stop it. Okay. If this man is not who you want him to be when you marry him, don't marry him because he ain't going to change. The only thing that will make him change is pain. And that's for anybody. Women are not going to change without pain. I mean, it's a human condition. We are who we are. By the time we become an adult, that's who we are. And now we might change when it becomes painful or there's a situation that we're going to really lose and we're smart enough to perceive that we're going to lose it. See, he doesn't think she's going to leave.
Wow.
If he thought he was going to leave and he realized, man, I'm going to lose my wife, maybe he'll change. But he's like, well, she didn't leave after the first child, after the second child. Now she got 5 kids. She ain't going nowhere. That's what he's thinking. And what she has to do is inflict some pain. I don't mean physical pain, but just, first of all, try not cleaning. Try just leaving the place a mess. Try not cooking. Go on strike.
I like that. Go on strike. Thank you, bro. I really appreciate your contribution.
All right, man.
Thank you so
Y'all,
much.
y'all take care, man. I'm gonna come
Thank
and
you.
follow your show as much
Thank you
as
so
I
much. I
can.
appreciate it.
All
Thank
right,
you so
take
much.
care.
Stay
All
great,
right.
man. Stay great. Bye.
Bye.
Well, you guys heard it, and it's been fun. It's been, look at that. It's terrible. So, what's your comment? Make your comment known, and if you want to contribute, I encourage you to contribute. Hit the like button, and like the video, and share and share and share. Thank you so much for those of you who listen. And here's my final take on this. If you're going through this situation like that, I encourage you to speak to your partner with so much confidence and courage. Don't be rude. Speak to your partner about this situation and address it calmly, and then see what you can do. If there are things you want to let him do, make him do it. If you can make him do it, if you can make additional uh, uh, provision for it, let him do it. I mean, these things have to be talked over, and follow the advice that was provided by different guests that spoke on this program, and then use them. I believe that will produce effective result. If you have any question, I won't hesitate to read your questions. I would love to read your questions and also talk about some of the things you might want to ask. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening. Um, I think our time is almost up. I would like to end the broadcast now. And please subscribe to the channel if you're watching for the first time. And those of you who just joined us on the channel, again, I say welcome. I believe you'll be receiving valuable information from this channel as we progress. Thank you so much, and I'll see you again. Peace. One love. Bye bye. Hello, you're welcome to our broadcast today. This is Family Aspect, and today I want to share something very important with you regarding a question. Here's a question here I want to talk about. I want to actually um, contribute my side of view on this question. And the question is, my wife feels mentally and physically drained by our children. What can we do? Now, this is a family that has probably a minimum of 4 kids, and the wife is mentally and physically drained just by the children alone, taking care of the children alone. And this is a common situation that comes along with uh, young moms, young mothers. A lot of young mothers face this problem a lot. And by the end of the day, you see, they don't feel they have anything left for their husband or other things to do. So they are drained out from morning till evening. You know, they do all of the things that the kids needs, take care of the kids, and they are emotionally drained, they are physically drained. And this has been going on to this in the lives of this family, and is asking what can they do to resolve this, because it's as though it's not stopping, it's not ending. And we can all agree that this also affects many families, many married wives are going through this right now as we speak. And many of them don't know what to do. And their husband is not even helping. You see, that's the major thing. The husband is not helping out in resolving this situation. So every day they are drained. Every day, either they are spiritually drained, emotionally drained, or physically drained. Every day it happens to them as a result of taking care of the children. You know. So what can they do? What they said, what can we do? So here's what I think can be done. And is my wife is really busy at the moment. She would have joined me on this particular discussion. And we have 2 kids, and we have 2 boys. And the my eldest boy right now is 7 years old, and my younger boy is about 5 years old now. So uh, I can talk to you concerning that. I can talk to you. I believe we've gained the experience in such regard to talk to you on what to do. A kind of advice that will work. They say it works for us. It should work for you if you apply them. Now, I will first of all address the wives. Here's a tip for you if you are listening to this as a wife. First, set aside set aside time that you need to spend with your husband to develop your marriage, because you see, it is your marriage first before the kids. If your marriage was not there, there won't be the kids. So ensure that your priority is set right. It's so important, because I've seen so many relationships, so many marriages that have actually put the children as the top priority over their husband. Many women have done that. They put their children as a top priority over their husbands, and that becomes a very dangerous step or dangerous thing to do, and that affects the marriage in the long run. But here you have to set out time that you need to spend with your husband. It's so important. Okay, it's so important that you set out time that you need to spend with your husband to develop your marriage. You need to think about your marriage surviving, your marriage thriving, your marriage standing strong and successful, irrespective of the children's demands. Okay, now ask yourself if you want to improve your sexual relationship with your husband, because that is the key. That is the key here. Now, first, you may say, well, you're too tired to get those things done. We'll come to that in a moment. We'll address what men should do. We will talk about the tips. I'm a husband, so I can tell you something about that. Don't worry, just hold on. First, you need to set aside time to spend with your husband to develop. You see, don't get too busy to allow that your marriage to develop. You need to improve it. And one of the key things that improve our marriages today is our sexual relationship with our spouses. It's so important. Our intimate relationship with our spouses. Now, this requires time. Okay? You need to set out time to do this. You have to plan to do this. All right? Now, secondly, make sure you are getting the physical and spiritual rest that you need. You got to make sure. I'm talking to the wives right now. You have to make sure that you're getting the rest that you need. You say, well, that's the problem. I'm not getting the rest that I need. That there's no time to rest. Calm down, relax. I have some more to share with you. This will help. Okay, don't just run off now. Just listen to the end of this video and you'll get exactly what I'm trying to say. Now, I said, secondly, make sure you're getting some physical and spiritual rest that you need. You need the rest. You need to get some rest. All right. Take a nap if in the afternoon if you can, if it is necessary. If you can make time in the afternoon to take a rest. I know some of you may be working, or probably you're not. When the children are off school or they are gone to school in the afternoon, take a nap between 2 and 3. You say, well, I mean, between 1, 12, 1, 2, depending on the time that you have, take a nap. If it is just 1 hour, 2 hours, you can take a nap. You really need to rest. I'm talking to the wife right now. You really need to rest. Otherwise, you remain drained. You completely be like that, and it get worse over the time. So take advantage of weekends to catch up on sleep. You need to sleep. You need to get some time to rest. It's very important to do. Now, that is the tip I would like to give to the wife. First, set out time to spend with your husband to develop your marriage. You don't want that. You don't want your marriage to suffer. Now, because what I'm talking about today, have led to a lot of separation in marriages. Husbands have run away from their wife and children, and run after other women because of this. So ensure you don't lose your marriage as a result of this situation of your children so demanding, and you're trying to take care of them. Now, to the husbands, here is what you should do. If you want to save your marriage, and if you love your wife, really, if you care about her, if you love her, this is what you should do. First, reaffirm your commitment to your wife. Many husbands have failed to recognize that they have so much commitment to their wives. You need to reaffirm to yourself your commitment to your wife. You see, make sure she knows. Make sure she knows your commitment. And also make sure she knows that you are her top priorities. Again, without you being the husband and wife together, there won't be children in the first place. I want you to understand that. So make sure that she knows that you are committed and prove it. It is not just saying, I'm committed to you, you know, I love you, you know, I care about you, without proving it. And how do you prove it to women? It is not by sex. No, it is not by just intimacy. You don't prove that you committed to your wife by intimacy. No, you prove that you love your wife through affections. Affections. You see, affections. We are talking about actions that brings effect. That is affection. Affections are actions that brings effect to your wife. That brings effects. These are affections. And not only, secondly, you have to now, to do this, you have to demonstrate your commitment. That's what it means. That's where affection comes in, by demonstrating your commitment. And what is that? You're seeking to understand her emotion. That's the first rule. As a husband, seek to understand your wife's emotion. Seek to understand her spiritually. Seek to understand her physically. Understand her needs, her spiritual needs, her physical needs, her emotional needs. You need to have an understanding of these things to be able to help her out. This is your role as a husband. Now, remember, your wife longs for a real intimacy with you. Your wife wants a real intimacy with you. Don't forget that, just as much as you want it. But as a husband, make a great effort to help. You see, make a great effort to help your wife out around the house chores. Is so important. Help your wife out around the house. Help her out. Do things to help her. Help her in the kitchen work, to take care of the dishes. You can. Husbands don't do this. That's the problem. Many husbands, actually, not all of them, 80% of husbands don't do this. And that is a problem. It's a problem. You have to help your wife clean the kitchens, clean the house, do the laundries. She's not your slave, she's your spouse. She's not your slave, she's your friend. She's your lover, she's your helper. You need to help her too. Every helper needs help. Don't forget that. Every helper needs help. We all need help. Every one of us, every human being needs help. You see, you got to understand this. Only God that doesn't need your help, because He's the one that originates helps in the first place. He have everything in place. But you see, when it comes to your wife, she needs your help. She needs you to help her. You need to help her to clean the kitchens and put the kids to bed. Many husbands don't do this. I started doing this right from our first child. Even before we had our first child, I started helping out with my wife in the kitchen work, in the cleaning of the houses. It wasn't easy in the first place. She was asking for it in the first place. I was reluctant, but when I began to improve and develop myself, I discovered this is necessary. This is something I can help. I began to study our emotions. I began to study our feelings. I began to understand this is what she needs. And I have the obligation to meet her needs. And I began to support her. And this is the way husbands should behave. Help out. Help out. Listen, it is I think it is total disservice. It is total disservice and marital abuse not to help her out in every course of the house with the kids and still expect her to meet your sexual needs. It is an abuse. I see it as a marital abuse. Trust me. I see it as a marital abuse. At the end of the day, she is there doing all the work, doing all the busy thing. She's tired, and you come in right from work or something or wherever you've been, and then you want her to meet your sexual needs, even with all of those weariness. That is an abuse. To me, I see it as an abuse. To me, I see it as a disservice. I don't know what you think, but that's my opinion. I believe this is helpful. So if you do this, you may be saving your marriage. Thank you for watching, and I believe you'll be following us. Please, if you're watching this video, like it. If you like it, wonderful. We want you to comment as well if you have any questions. And please subscribe to our channel. Until I see you again with another important question as this, remain blessed. Bye bye. Hello, you're welcome to our broadcast today. This is Family Aspect, and I want to welcome every one of you all around the world watching us right now. Today, I want to be sharing something very important, which I believe that we all need to cultivate in our family, and that is the pursuit of happiness. All right, you got it. The pursuit of happiness in family. Now, I want to first of all bring something to your mind. Happiness is not something that you expect someone to um, do to you or make happen for you. Happiness is your responsibility. Happiness is your personal responsibility. It would be an error for me to depend on my wife to make me happy, for me to depend on my children to make me happy. No, to do that is to actually wish for something that will never come true. Many of us has been there for a long time hoping that someone will make us happy, but it never happens. Even when we try, we end up blaming them for on our sadness and failures and troubles that we have in life. But today, I want to give you something. I want to share something with you that will really help you understand the principle of finding happiness in life. Number one thing that you must first need to understand in search for happiness in your life, in pursuit of happiness in your life, is this: find God. You heard me right. Find God before happiness. Find God before happiness. You need to find God in your life. You need the awareness and the person of the Creator. You see, you need to have the awareness and the person of the Creator of all things in your life. Above all else, above all that you will ever find in your life, above all that you will ever go for in your life. You see, you want to find happiness in your family, in your relationship, then find God. Find God. You need the awareness and the personality of the Creator of all things in your life. I'm not asking you to become religious. No, I'm not asking you to become religious. Listen, but I'm simply asking you that you believe. Yes, believe. Believe in the Creator of all things. Believe in the only true God. That's what I'm asking you to do. Don't be a religion person. I don't believe in, I don't follow religion. I believe. You see, I believe there's a God that created all things, and that's what I believe. So that's what I'm asking you to do. To find happiness, you must first believe. You've got to believe. Believe in yourself. Believe in God. Believe in creation. Believe in your ability. You must first believe. That's number one thing I want you to take note in finding happiness in your relationship, in your marriage, and in your life. Number two, you need to be grateful. You got to be grateful. It is very difficult for many people to be grateful today. But you know what? You have to practice gratitude. Things around you are always desiring to be appreciated. Come on, be grateful for life. Be grateful for your family. Be grateful for your children. Be grateful for your husband, for your wife. Be grateful for your job. Listen, happiness and success are preceded by gratitude. I say that again. Happiness and success are preceded by gratitude. Mhm. We need to happily succeed rather than to try to succeed to be happy. You see, success should not breed happiness. It is happiness that breeds success. You got to practice gratitude, because gratitude will bring happiness into your life. It will stir up the emotion of happiness in your life. It will stir up that emotion. It will activate that emotion. Listen, once we are happy, we are doing something that we love in our lives, success becomes a byproduct. You see, success becomes a byproduct. So success actually is a byproduct of happiness and finding something that you love to do. You see that now? So, however, when our happiness hinges on our success, good things never come. Understand this. Whenever your happiness is hinged on your success, you actually wouldn't have good things happen. It all about struggle. So that's number second. The second thing I want you to have in mind. And the third thing to find happiness in your life is to be open to change. Be open to change until you change. Like Jim Roy said in one of his teachings, he says, until you change, things will never change for you. For you to change, for things to change for you, you have to change. You see, nothing change except you change. Be open to change. Be open to value building. Be open to personal development. Build yourself up. Sometimes the reason why you feel so sad is because you've been in a place for so long. You've been in one place for so long. You see. So even if it doesn't feel good to change, I encourage you to change. You see, change is the one thing that you can count on in your life. Change is the one thing that you can count on in your life to make you happy. Change will happen. So make continuous plans and emotional sure yourself that you're going to change. You see, make continuous plan for change. You see, and seal yourself up with values. Attract values into your life. It's so important. That's the third thing. And the fourth thing you have to do to find happiness in your life and your relationship and in the life of your loved ones. You say, be present. Learn to be here and now. Many people are so absent-minded in their relationship. Many husbands are absent-minded. Many wives are absent-minded. They are not here and now. They are not participating in what is happening now. They are concerned and worried about tomorrow. We have many wives who are worried about tomorrow, worried about what will happen. Many men, husbands are worried about tomorrow, worried about what will happen. Why not be here and now? Take advantage of today. Like the greatest teacher all over the world, the master of all things said, Jesus, he said, why worry about tomorrow? He said, let tomorrow take care of itself and give attention to today. You see, the same thing I'll tell you, be present now. Be here and here. Be here and now. That's the key. Be present now. Stop the worries. Stop the hang off. Stop worrying about what will happen and what will not be. Focus on today. Be grateful today. Think about your happiness today. Work on the things that are available for you today. Appreciate today. Appreciate here and now. Learn to practice gratitude here and now. Another thing I would like to bring to your notice, which is that will help you find success, is health and well-being. Focus on your health. Focus on your well-being. Is a key factor of happiness in marriage and family. Focus on the health and the well-being of your children. Focus on the health and the well-being of your wife. Focus on the health and the well-being of yourself as a husband. Focus on the health and the well-being. What kind of food do you eat? What kind of clothes? What kind of environment do you live in? Hygiene is the key. Hygiene is the key. Health management is the key. Health safety is the key. Because if you're sick, if your wife is sick or your family anyone related to you is sick, there won't be happiness. It will all be covered with sadness all the time. Just to think about the one who is sick and who is, this is the thing. Focus on health and well-being. Mind the things you eat. Don't overeat. See, stop overeating. Stop over drinking alcohol. Stop taking recreational drugs that will destroy your body. These are things you have to understand. These things are chemicals. They have diverse and adverse effects on our bodies. We have to take note of that. This is so important. Now, another thing I would like to mention here is very important in finding happiness in your relationship, in your marriage, and with your children, in your life general. And that is, be with others who make you smile. I want you to understand how powerful this is. Your husband should be your best friend. Your wife should be your best friend. Your children should be your best friends. It's so important. It's so important. Build friendship in your family, because these people are what makes you smile. When you look at your children, they should make you smile. When you look at your wife, they should make you smile. When you look at what is going on around you, your husband, he should make you smile. Everything around you should make you smile. So be with others who make you smile. This is so important. Studies have shown that we are the happiest when we are around those who are happy. That's what study shows. Every time we find ourselves, that's why you find some people always want to associate with those who makes them happy, who makes them laugh. They want to be around them. It's the same thing. It's the same thing in relationship, in marriage, in family matters. Always find those who are joyful. Always find those who are always happy and network with them. Connect yourself. Stay with those who makes you smile. And you will find happiness every time you are with them. It's the key. Take note of that. It's the key. Then another thing I would like to talk about today is this, that you hold on to your values. Do you have any values? What are values? Whatever are true, whatever you find true, whatever you know that is fair, whatever you believe in, all of these are your values. These are your value system. Over the time, the more you honor them, the better you feel about them. And you feel about yourself. You feel about those that you love around you, everyone around you. just because you value, you give, you hold on to your value, you focus, give attention to values. And when you do that, it will be easy for you to value other people. So I encourage you to hold on to your values. What are the things you believe? What are the things you know that are fair? What are the things that you so much know that are true? Honor them in your life. Now, another thing I like to mention is that you accept the goodness of life. Accept good. Look at your life and take stock of what is working and dunk the one that is not working. Stop trying to push away everything that doesn't appear to be perfect in your life. That doesn't mean they are not good. Just because they are not perfect doesn't mean they are not good. So give attention to good things to find happiness. Then the last thing I would like to talk about today, which also have to be the second point in this thing, is to find your purpose. Find your purpose. What do you believe in? What is your purpose? Look for it. Until you find your purpose, you might be struggling to find happiness. I believe you have been imparted today with this brief information. And I would like you to, if you like it, share with your loved ones and subscribe to our channel, and also follow us on Instagram. And guess what? There will be more information like this coming your way. Thank you so much for being part of this video, and I'm glad to share more with you next time. Until then, bye bye. Hello, everyone, and welcome to our channel today. This is Family Aspect, and I'm with my lovely, amazing wife, and we are having something to share with you today. I'm Charles, and you are
Antonia.
and
Hi,
this is
everyone.
you're welcome. Now, today we want to talk about something very important that has to do with communication, the lack of communication in families. Remember, this is Family Aspect, and what we do, we bring value to family. We bring solutions to challenging problems, and those are the solutions we have tried and also, faced. And then, we face these challenges. We got solutions. We try using these solutions in our own lives, and we believe that these things are going to be helpful to thousands and thousands of families around the world, and that is why we are here to share our thoughts and our experience, having been together for a couple of years now. So, I want to first of all start by, talking about communication and the importance of it, and also why is there so much lack of that communication in families. So, first of all, communication is just the ability to share your thoughts, your emotions, your feelings, your passion with your spouse in a way that they will understand, and also they will be able to communicate and speak back to you or share such emotions, such thoughts, and values back to you. It is about sharing. It is about effective uh, uh, discussions that produce results, that inspire people, that inspire your spouse. But we have lack of this in family. That's why we want to talk about it. And my wife here is about to share some thoughts that she thinks will be helpful to many young families out there, especially to women as well. So, um, first, I want you to share your thoughts concerning the lack of communication between husband and wife, because we have several issues that have to do with lack of communication with children, lack of communication with wives, in-laws, and all of that. But we want to focus, because this is family aspect. We want to focus on the main source of family, which is the man and the woman that forms the family, the husband and the wife. So, what is your take on the lack of communication that goes on in relationship, especially between husband and wife? So, you want to share some of the things you think may be leading to lack of communication in our relationships or in families?
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I think there's a whole lot of things that leads to lack of communication in homes or in young families. Um, but there are some key points as well that kind of leads to these things. So in my little experience, what I found is it's just like a bit of familiarity that we get when we get married, to one another. So we get so familiar with each other, and we talk about the deep things that maybe you didn't talk about when you were courting. So now you trust each other and you communicate about these deep insight or deep things that's been in your mind or in your heart all these years. And with that, maybe something happens in the family in a long run, and either the woman or the man kind of mentioned something you have entrusted them with. So something you've told them. So now because you're so used to each other, so you value each other so much. So you communicate, you talk about everything and your actions or your plans, you talk about everything. And maybe a little quarrel happened or something happened, and the woman can refer to this thing you said, this thing happened. So maybe it was because of that mistake, you're making the same mistake again. Or the man, said the same thing or something similar. So the person easily just go back to their share that, oh, I trusted him with this information, or I trusted her with this information, and now he's using or she's using this information against me. And with that, whether it's the man or the woman, and depending on the kind of person, because you need to know your wife, you need to know your husband, know the way they react to things. If it's a lady or if it's a man that easily go back to their share when something happened, or when a word is used, that something that they've entrusted you with, so that person is going to stop talking. So even the new things, the new plans is going to they're going to stop sharing. It's going to stop talking to the woman about it. Or the woman is going to stop talking to the man about it. And now, the woman is going to start trusting other people to communicate to. It could be the man, it could be the woman. So now the lack of communication is just, the gap is just getting wider, because now they are no more communicating to each other. Instead, they're trusting their friends or family.
So what you're saying is that the familiarity between a man and a woman, when they are courting or in that relationship, they try to share everything they know, that they've experienced about each other, about themselves to one another. And while sharing that, they may have talked about the secrets of their lives and all of that, just to make the partner whom they are aspiring to get married to, or that they're already married to feel comfortable
with them,
to know them. So not knowing, according to what I'm getting, what you're saying, not knowing that maybe one of them falls short of the integrity of holding that truth as a secret, and knowing, valuing the person, that this is what a dime or what a gold to the person. I cannot just like let it out of the bag, let the cat out of the bag, or just speak against it. And according to what you're saying, so along the road, along the line of their life, if they get into challenges, they're having quarrel or something, they start using such things against themselves. And that eventually leads to one of the parties, or maybe both of them, start keep it to themselves. So they just feel that they don't want to talk to each other anymore. Now my question will be, if that is, which I believe obviously that's a major issue, what do you think can be done? What solution? Let's say now people who are watching us, there's one or two persons right now who have been caught by that, and now he or she is no more sharing or communicating with the wife or husband because of this particular example we're giving now. What do you think that person should do? How do they, should they just continue like that, or what?
There's always solution for everything. And first, I would say if your spouse have said said something that you were entrusted them with, and that thing has really hurt you, first just take it to God in prayer, and not to complain about it, but just to tell God about it, how, because God already saw how you felt, when that incident happened. But to be quick to forgive, be quick to forgive, take it to God in prayer, just pray about it. Then also you need to communicate this now. You need to talk to your spouse about it.
Okay. What if the person doesn't know how to pray? What if the person is not a Christian?
Okay.
What if the person is not a religious person?
Okay. So let's say the person is not a religious person, he's not a Christian.
Yeah.
Again, you have to learn to trust again. So it's more or less giving your spouse another opportunity, but you have to try and break that separation, which is the lack of communication, and you just be open and speak to your spouse. Okay, there's this thing you mentioned XYZ, uh, a month ago or a week ago. I actually trusted you with this conversation. I told you about it because I believe we had value for each other, we respect each other, so I didn't expect this to for you to actually use this against me. So this is the reason I've not been talking. This is the reason I have, head back to myself and keep everything to myself. So talk to them about it and give them another chance. And there might be people out there that will say, well, I've given him or her so many chances.
No. Yeah.
So many chances.
Yeah.
Or again, that will not come with patience. Because again, every day, marriage basically, you need a lot of patience. So and you need to know your spice as well, like I said from the beginning. Because something might take Mr. A in their marriage, 1 month to heal. And in another marriage, it could be a week, it could be a day. In another one as well, it could be, it could be 1 year to heal.
Yeah.
So every marriage is different. So you need to know your spouse and you just need to be patient.
Okay, that's good. What if, my question is, because I'm looking at the lines of solutions here. What if the person who really offended his spouse by using those secrets against them failed to admit that such thing was wrong? How are you going to begin to trust again when the person actually haven't consented that he did something wrong with it? And he felt that, well, didn't you do it? Didn't you say it? Is it not what you did? And he's like holding on to what he said, and he can't see beyond the emotion. He's not feeling the pain that person who is being hurt is feeling. How can I take
I think that goes back to understanding. Goes back to understanding, because if your wife or your husband is coming to you, so it's not based on your own, it's not based on how you see it now, it's based on the person that is feeling the hurt. So most times we kind of see ourselves self. So in marriage, what I've learned and I'm still learning, it's not about self, it's about what you can give. So you should be willing to give love, willing. So you shouldn't just be a receiver, whether you're the man or the woman. It's not by being a receiver, it's by being a giver. So you want to give. So you might not see the point, or the person involved might not see, okay, this thing might not upset me. If someone has said it to me, it won't bother me. So why are you bothered by it? So you have to understand that you might not be bothered by it, but the person who you've said it to, or your spouse with whom you've said it to, is bothered by it, and that should be a concern. That should be a concern. So we need to be more sensitive to each other, and that's where value comes in as well.
And we encourage them to not stop communicating, because
At all, yeah.
that's one of the
It's a big
barrier
key.
against that the barrier that comes in relationship, in marriage. You have to break it. You have to break that barrier, because only effective communication that leads to success and to happy marriage life.
And
There
it's how
is
you
no-
said it. It's how you say it as well.
Yeah.
So you might, something might upset you. Is how you bring that matter to the table. that really matters.
Mm.
Because there are ways you communicate it that the person might not even feel, the person might not see the reason why you're being upset, but it's how you bring it to the table. So most times, don't just bring it as it really hurts you. As maybe that
Wow.
time that you're being hurt,
Mm.
just try and cool off. Try and cool off so you can present the matter in a way that the person you're speaking to about it can, can rethink, be able to reflect on that situation. But if you've said it the way you really felt hurt, the person might not even be like, okay, why are you so upset? It was just nothing. You shouldn't be getting upset over that. But if you're taking time to cool off,
Well,
and
I know
present
she
it.
has a lot to say. You see, I told you she has a lot to say, but uh, due to the time constraint of this video, I want to say to you, we want to say to you that communication is so important, and this is just one of the many other things that lead to lack of communication in marriage between husband and wife. Now, the reality is you have to keep communicating due to, even though you feel that the familiarity is getting too much, find a way to downsize it, find a way to manage it. Okay. And I want to, if you like this content of this video, I want you to share with your loved ones and your family, and also like it, comment, okay, and subscribe and follow, because we have more. She have more to share. So this is just one of the things, and I want you to watch out for part two, because she has more to say. All right. Thank you. And we will say bye bye now until we meet you in another video. Okay. Watch out for part two.
I
Hello, everyone. You're welcome to our channel again. This is Family Aspect. I want to thank you for joining us today. Today, I want to share something very important with you. And today, I want to look at something that has to do with family value system. Now, if you have been watching our videos and looking at our channel, we know that you know that we basically focus on information that will help uplift family and help other family, young family, aspiring families. I mean, to come together and work in peace and harmony, and also not only that, it will inform them of what to expect and how to navigate challenges that may come their way in their families. And that's why we're sharing some of these informations with you, because these informations that we are sharing on this channel have been very, very helpful to many families. And also, we have used them and we are still using them, and it's very helpful for us as well. If we want a better society, if we want a better place, if we want a better community, if we want a better children, a better youth for the future, better leaders for tomorrow, then these values must be considered. These things we discuss on this channel must be valued, must be considered. So today we want to talk about family value system. The family value system. The other video I mentioned about the um anti-Christian culture that destroy our society today. I mentioned something very remarkable there, that the reason or the main meaning of anti-Christian culture that people are executing in their homes and family unknowingly and knowingly, has to do with the fight against values, Christian values, the value system, the good value system. We're looking at the challenges of value system in our society. And family is all where it begins. You see, it all begins from where we live, our homes, our family. Like the old saying goes, charity begins at home. So today we want to look at value system that we can use to help our family succeed. Now, these value systems have been there over the years. These are not new. These are things that we just need to revisit. Most of us have forgotten this system long time ago, and the reason we are bringing this system back, or trying to remind every one of us how the system works, is because, you see, many of us have forgotten. We are so busy these days that we have forgotten some of these things. And now I want to begin to help each family to see how important these things can really play if we actually take seriously to help our families, our loved ones, and children understand these things. Number one, let's talk about the value system. What does it mean? What are family value system? Now, family value system involve all of the ideas of how you want to live, or how you want to live your family life. That's all about it. It's all of these ideas, it's all of this system that you want to put to work to help you live the true family life. And they often are passed from generation to generation, depending on the kind of system, value system that have been put in place. You know, and what are these value systems for? They can help define the behavior, the various situation, and help you make, they help young people, youths make good choices. They help children to make good choices. You see, they solidify the bonds that your family will have. That is why we have to address family value system. Now, if your family doesn't have one, or don't have any of these value systems, now is the time to start addressing them. Now is the time to start visiting them. And that's why I want to talk about this today. I'm going to be sharing some more with you, but I just want to let you know the importance of having this value system in our family, in our home. Now, I'll look at types of family value system, and then we'll be able to talk about one or two things in a couple of minutes if you stay tuned with me. Now, although every family has a list of values, um, which can be different from family to family. There's no doubt about that. There are different categories that have stand the test of time, different categories of value system, family value system that have stand the test of time over the years, which has been passed on from generation to generation. And that is what we want to look at today. Now, the first thing is, what are these value system? What are these value system that we can consider this family value system? Now you may be thinking, well, does this really matter? How can this impact or make a change? Well, if you're a young family, if you're just starting out and you have young kids, and you may have come from a broken family or something, or probably you may just be watching this video, and is to you, this may not be relevant. You see, let me tell you something. All information on family are important for you if you're a family man, if you're a family woman, and also if you're a boy, a man, a boy, a girl, you come from a family, you need this information because they will help you understand where you are. Everyone belongs to a family. Every single soul belongs to a family. Now, I want to talk about social values. That's number one. Number one is social value. We're talking about family value system. Number one system that we find that has been existing over the years is social value system. Now, the social value system consists of things like peace, justice, freedom, equality, bettering our community. Now, I may give you some example of social values, but let's look at this for a moment. Peace. How many families today practice peace? How many families today actually talk about peace? They want to practice peace. They have it as a conscious applied value in their lives that they should walk in peace, make peace, have peace as a system of living. How important is that? to your society, to you as an individual, to your children, how important it is to value peace, to practice peace. It is so important. Number two, justice. How important to talk about justice, doing what is right, standing for that which is right, speaking for that which is right. How many families today are raised with this consciousness? These are the values that we need to think about. When we are raising family, these are the things we need to imbibe. These are the principles we need to establish in our homes. It is so important. I wasn't raised with most of these. You may never be raised with all of these in conscious practice, but in reality, this is what makes a family unique. This is what makes a family special. This is what builds society. This is what makes a nation. Family building is the key to a better society, a better nation, a better city, a better community. So the values we put in our family is so important. So we need to start teaching our children the importance of peace. We are as parents, we need to start practicing peace. And then justice, doing what is right, standing up for what is right, speaking for what is right. These are things that are very important. Then freedom, the ability or the liberty to do what you're born to do, the ability and the liberty to be what you're meant to be. You see, these things are vital information that we must have. That's why we're looking at social value system. Mine is to introduce you to them. Yours is to do what you're supposed to do. Do your research, put them out, practice what peace can do to your life. Practice it. Know what peace can do in your life and family. Know what justice can do in your life and family. These are family values that children need to know about, that must be taught. Freedom. We're talking about social values now. Freedom. Equality. Many children are not free. Many husbands and wives are not free. They don't even understand what it means to be free. Some are married but in bondage to their parents. Some are married but in bondage to their spouse, to their spouses. Children are in bondage to their children, to their parents. What kind of system are we raising? What kind of nation are we building? Remember, your family is like a nation. Every nation begins with a family. Now, let's look at it. What about equality? The idea that everybody's one. Is that practice in your home? Is that a value system that you're practicing? The lack of equality is what produces inequality. Inequality in our system today, in our society today, is what leads to racism, discrimination, tribalism. Then we have people fighting to be their own nation, their own state. Inequality. But if we practice it from home, it will make a difference. That's why I'm sharing these thoughts with you today. The value system of a family. Are you practicing? Are you involving? Now, that is all I can take today on this video. And I believe you have been imparted. And share this video, subscribe to the channel, and see you next time. Hello, everyone. You're welcome to Family Aspect. This is your friend, your brother, your man on this channel today, and I want to be talking about something very important that is very disturbing in our society today, especially when it comes to family. Remember, this is family aspect, and in this channel, we talk about situations, challenges that affect families, and what we can do to put ourselves in a good and happy state in families. And also, we talked about several issues that has to deal with having a successful relationship and starting out one in the first place. So we are all about the family aspect, as you know. Now, today I want to share something with you. Is what causes family breakups? Now, this has been a long time challenge in families, as we all know. It has been a whole huge problem. Now, when I was growing up as a child in the area where I lived in my village, I saw when I'm in my village where I was born, the locality where I was born, I experienced and I saw a lot of breakup, a lot of divisions in family. And I wonder why things of such magnitude was taking place. I was disturbed. Quarrels here and there, wives packing their loads and leaving the husband, leaving the children, husband pushing their wives away, driving them out, and the children, running away from homes. A lot of this disorientation taking place in family, division, so to say, and it has been a major concern to me. I've been very uh, uh, um, disturbed right from childhood when I see these things happen. You know, there's not much to do as a child at that time, but rather you just wonder why things of such magnitude is happening. Now, as I began to grow up, I began to make different choices. I made up my mind that I'm not going to have to live like this. I'm not going to entertain whatever will make my family be like this. You know, it was a decision I made right when I was young, when I saw those things happening. And now I did discover why these things happen. And when I did, I began to walk my way in preventing them in my life and in my family. And I'm still at them because you never um, you never perfect these things overnight. You see, these are principles that you have to work on over the time. And as you grow up, you keep keeping at it. You keep keeping at it because it is something you have to do to keep yourself together. Now, here's the point. What causes breakup in family? Why do we have breakups? Why is family disoriented? Now, number one cause and major, which is obviously everybody know this, that causes family breakup is infidelity. Infidelity. What does that mean? The action um, or state of being unfaithful to your spouse or other sexual partner. When you are unfaithful to your spouse, unfaithful to your sexual partner, it actually is called premarital sex. Oh, sorry, extramarital sex. You know, not premarital sex, extramarital sex. That means this is called adultery. Adultery. It is also called unfaithfulness. The, uh, the Bible talks about adultery and the issue, the problem with it. And what it leads to is family breakup. And both parties are affected in this situation. Both parties are. Now, in largely in all around the world, not only Africa, all around the world, infidelity is a case, is a huge problem, both from guys and women, especially from men. Infidelity is a big issue. And if you're going through breakups right now, or probably you're going through family disorientation right now, I assure you, this is one of the cause. You better look at this closely. If you are experiencing this in your family, I think you should look at your your relationship. Look at your life sexually. How is it like? How are you living your life sexually with your partner? That's what number one. Number one reason why breakup happen. And it affects both parties. Sometimes the women blame themselves and say, if the man is the one that cheats on them, blame themselves and say, why did this happen? What have I done wrong? What is my what is my fault? What is my sin? The man live with the guilt of it, and it is vice versa. So avoid sexual extramarital sex or sexual activities in your family. Stay faithful to your spouse. It is a key thing. If there's any issue, we'll talk about the solutions in a moment. Now, the second thing that is major that affects again or that leads to family breakups is excessive arguments. Excessive argument. Oh, that is a huge deal in families. Somebody trying to make a point, somebody trying to make someone understand, somebody's trying to be right. Someone always wants to be right. So this is actually an exchange of diversion. It's an exchange of opposed views, trying to exchange views. And typically this is a heated view. It is birthed with anger, you see. It's an angry argument. And a lot of times it leads to fight. It leads to obviously we call it differences in opinion. We call it squabbled. We call it fight. We call it disagreement. We call it quarrel. We call it clash. We call it dissensions, war of wars. Debate, discussion, but disputations, whatever. All of these are names that we call it, but it's wrong. Disagreement is disagreement. Of course, there are room for disagreement, but I mean, can we be honest that our disagreement will not lead to fight? Our disagreement or argument will not lead to quarrel? These things, when it happens, remember, excessive one. When it happens all the time, it destroys the trust in the family. It begins to imbibe in the mind of the individual in the family that they are not meant to be there in the first place. It's so important that we understand these things. So avoid excessive argument. Time will not permit me to talk detail on this and how relevant this is, but avoid excessive argument. It will help you. You see, this one breaks family a lot. I've seen that happen all the time. When I was in that state of arguing with my wife, I tell you what, it was always like, am I supposed to be here? Is a thought that comes easily. So avoid argument. And I'll talk to you about what to do. Now, the third thing that breaks family apart, that tears family apart, is this: the abuse of another family member. When there is an abuse of another family member or a family member, you see, there are different kind of abuse, all right? There are different kind of abuses. So we have physical abuse, we have sexual abuse, we have all types of abuse. Abuse is wrong. Abuse is abuse. Abuse is actually defined as the misuse or the abnormal use of something. When the purpose of a thing is not known, abuse is inevitable. That was what Masmuro said, late Masmuro. And that's true. In reality, when you don't know the purpose of a thing, you abuse it. So we have people don't know the purpose of their wives, they abuse their wives. We have people who doesn't know the purpose of in-laws, they abuse their in-laws. We have people who doesn't know the purpose of children, they abuse their children. So the abuse of another member of a family can extremely
lead to um, um, discontinuity of a family, or divergence of a family, or a breakup that happens in family. Now, these three things are so important to avoid. These three things, they are the three major things. Now, financial problems might come in here and there, but it's not really major that destroys or break family apart. If these three things are in place, no matter how difficult and things get in your finances, you will still hold up. Both of you will still have hope to achieve success. Both of you will put in efforts to make things work. So the first three major things that you must avoid are these. And these are the things I found out. In most cases, when I was growing up, excessive argument was what was leading many families into such splitting, you know, divisions, excessive argument. So now I want to talk about the solution. Now I've already talked about the problems. I don't want to focus on it. Let's talk about briefly the solutions. So what must you do now? You see, what are you going to do to avoid these things from happening in your family, in your life, in your relationship? Number one thing that is so key in every family, successful family, good family, happy family, number one thing is communication. You have to learn the skill of talking. I know many men don't like to talk to their wives, and wives don't like to talk to their men, and children don't, parents don't like to talk to their children. You can't have that in your life. You're gonna prepare yourself for breakup someday because it's wrong not to communicate. Communication is the life wire of a successful relationship, of a happy relationship. You got to talk to somebody. Come on now. If you don't talk, you blow up. Yeah. Now listen to this. Communication is the key to any good relationship. First, it is important to communicate with your partner. So important. You see, it's important to know what their needs are. You need to know what your partner needs are. You need to know what they want and provide it. And that can only happen through communication. You know, the Bible talks about that a man should deal with his wife with understanding. What does that mean? It's so that he may be able to serve her needs. So God expects you to deal with your spouse with understanding. Understanding comes through communication. Understanding comes through paying attention. Understanding comes through learning. So you don't communicate, how can you learn? You don't communicate, how can you pay attention to the things that are needed in the family? So that's the first thing. Communication. Communication is important to know your partner's needs, but to make family based decisions as well, you have to communicate. You see, it put the stress off when you are able to communicate, to know what to do and help your family succeed. That's very important. Then, another thing that you must encourage to do is encourage family activities. This is another solution for to avoiding all of these problems. Encourage family activities. Don't break your bank doing this. I must advise you. Okay, is a disclaimer. Now, don't break your bank doing this. What I'm trying to say is, don't spend too much money trying to please your family. No, that's not how to do it. It may see it can mean spending an hour or even an evening, a few time a week playing with your children, playing with your wife, or watching movies. I do that with my wife all the time, most of the time. I spend time to because I know she loves watching movies. Sometimes I spend time watching movies with her. I may not want to watch the movie that very day. I might have books to read or things to attend to, but I just want to watch the movies with her. Why? Because it creates that bond. You see, it is the best whole thing to do with your family. Plan out something unique. Do something activity as a family together. Get involved. Change your family. Make people happy. Listen, when you do these things, you'll be amazed how stronger your bond as a family will be. I believe you're being parted with this information. I didn't want to spend much of your time today. I want to thank you for watching our channel today, and I want to encourage you to subscribe to our channel and watch more content, because you're going to get access to more content as you go. And also, if you like this video, why don't you click the like button on your screen right now? and share with your loved ones and those you know that will be will be imparted with value from this content. Again, also we are on Twitter. You can see it on the screen. Follow us on Twitter, and we'll be having our posts and other content being posted there. So if you have any question, or probably you want to write to us directly, write to me directly, you can do that. If you have any comments to make, you have the comment section to use, brother or sister. I want you to do that. Make your comment there. Until then, have a great day. I'm going to see you tomorrow next in our next video. In our next video, I'm going to share something very powerful to you. Expect that. Bye.